Hey! And we're on. Late and not prepared as usual.
Yes. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the FU podcast. This is episode 211. It is July 2nd, 2024. How y'all doing out there? What's happening?
Ding dong, that's me.
That's you in the studio. What's happening?
What is up, everybody? Good evening. Thank you for joining us. It's been a heck of a week already.
Dude,
I'm feeling really frustrated.
Me too. I had an amazing last couple days. Like, literally, my work has been on fire. Like, I'm literally just sitting there checking off all this workload. Like, literally, I have this fucking list that I made in Smart Sheets of, like, all the stuff that I got to get done. And, like, I'm just been flying through it. And I'm like, hell yeah, this feels so good to finally get through all of this shit. Then I get home today. Well, first of all, my Ring doorbell goes off, right? And I'm like, who the fuck is at my door? And I'm thinking, like, maybe it's FedEx because, like, I had a mountain of fucking packages or Amazon or whatever. And so, like, I look on the Ring doorbell and there's a female with a badge. And I'm like going, yes, who the fuck is at my house? And so then I, like, you know, zoom out or whatever, and I could see that there's, like, a big jacked up silver like F-250 or F-350, like lifted and all this shit. And I'm like going, well, that's not a cop cruiser. And like, she's wearing a badge. And so I'm kind of like, I'm trying to answer the thing. But of course, my doorbell's all like glitching out because apparently it can't handle video and like communication back and forth. So it sounds like one of those old, like when you lose service, you know how it's like all glitchy and shit like that. Yeah, that's exactly what it sounded like. So I'm like, I can't understand a word you're saying, blah, blah, blah. So I end up calling a non-emergency, not Lake Dallas non-emergency. And I'm like, hey, just FYI, like, there's somebody at my house, and I don't know if, like, it's legit, like, if I need a, patrol or something. But I'm like, there's somebody that's got a badge, but I'm like, they're not driving in a police cruiser, so that's kind of suspect.
Did they say, did you call?
Yeah, I did, and they said, "Oh, yeah, what ad? Of course, want my address, they want my name, this, that, and the other." And come to find out, it's animal control. And I'm like, going, why the fuck is animal control at my house? And so, like, I tried to call they were super nice on the dispatch or whatever. Gave me the number to animal control, and they said, "Hey, just FYI, if she's out driving around, she ain't gonna be answering her phone." So apparently, they only have a landline. It's not tied, doesn't forward to their cell phone, which defies any type of logic. If you're not going to be
at this point in time, at this day and age,
like, forward the shit to your phone. Like, what if there's like somebody's dog got out, or there's like a attack or something going on?
A rabid coyote,
right? I'm like, shit. Like, how the hell is anybody supposed to get a hold of them? So anyway, I get home tonight, and there's a nice little blue note, a little door hanger thing from the animal control that's on my door.
So it's not like a do not disturb or something like
no.
Okay. Just making.
Or like, hey, we just drove by to say hi and just want to check on you to see how everything's going.
Right.
And so, like, I look at it and it's like, it says on the front, like, the what is it? The cause of our arrival or whatever is listed on the back. So I flip the thing over. And it's like, it says something about, like, not having vet, all the rabies vaccines, which is against the law, and not having, which, by the way, I actually got my rabies shots and all that sort of stuff for the dogs at the fucking animal center. And I'm like going, all they had to do is look on the fucking computer. It's right there. I literally got it in Lake Dallas, at the Lake Dallas fucking facility. And so I was kind of like, okay, that's really suspect. And so I'm thinking, I'm like going, like, so as I read through, there's like a couple more. And one of them that is, apparently you have to register your dogs with the city here. I've lived here for 20 fucking years. I never knew that. You know how many dogs I've had? I've had 4 fucking different dogs in this house. Never once, only one I ever registered was Gucci. And that was because she was a pit bull. And that was, from what I heard at the time, that was the law then, that if you have any type of an aggressive breed, so Nikita, German Shepherd, that you had to register with the city. So, like, that was new to me, and I actually looked it up because I was like, what? When did this fucking happen?
Yep.
And so I looked it up, and sure enough, like, in the city of Lake Dallas, all dogs have to be registered. 4 months and older, all of them have to be registered. I'm like going, when the fuck did this get passed?
Yeah. Like,
why were we not alerted to this?
why do I not get this? Because I got a welcome to Lake Dallas package.
Did you know about it?
And it wasn't in there.
Yeah.
There was no verbiage about this whatsoever.
So that was one of the ticks. And then one of the other ones was dog is digging out. If it happens again, we're going to get a citation. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know exactly who it is.
Yep.
I knew exactly who it was once they said that. And I was like, these motherfuckers. Okay, so they called the cops on me.
Mm-hmm.
And now they called animal control. And they've stopped by my house 3 or 4 times. And they've left a note on my door, which was actually incriminating because it says that they're basically threatening to call the cops and this, that, and the other.
Yeah,
which they clearly made through with their threats.
Yeah.
And so now I'm going to go and I'm going to fucking press charges against them for harassment. Because I'm just like, look, dude, like I'm fucking done. Like games are over. Like I've been here for 20 years and you're going to come. Remember what you were talking about earlier about my peace? Now you're fucking with my peace.
Yeah.
And you're about to get a piece because you're fucking with my piece. You understand?
What is it? How is it how do they know that the dogs don't have shots anyways?
Ding, ding, ding,
Like,
ding. I'm like, she literally has a collar. Like, how do you assume?
Are you looking at my dogs? Were you in my backyard? How do you know that they don't have shots? What research did you do to put this on my...
Exactly.
So that's
so that was like when I had such an amazing last couple days and I come home to that, I was like literally set off. And I was like, and it just so happens to be right before the podcast. So I'm like, so I did a little digging around and I found their first names and last names, and we're gonna have some conversations. And I'm gonna put a fucking end to this real quick. You don't fuck with me. Like, wrong motherfucker to fuck with.
Yeah, let's not do harassment on air.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying
But,
I'm
yeah,
gonna do anything ill will or illegal. I'm just saying I'm going to
Pursue the legal channels.
Yes, exactly. I'm gonna have legal actions.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you on that one. That's kind of ridiculous, man.
And any audience, have you guys ever dealt with neighbors like this, or have y'all ever had experiences? I know like a lot of y'all might have lived in apartments and shit and having people above you, like the whole beehive living, where you got people to the left, people to the right, people above you, people below you. Like, I know some of y'all have had shitty neighbors and stuff like that, and I just curious like what y'all did and how y'all interacted and what was the final outcome, because like that's where I'm at. I'm like, man, like they've pushed and pushed and pushed, and now they're gonna get the wrath. Like, I tried to be civil, I tried to be nice, I tried to be, and here's the fucked up part. I went and surveyed the holes and everything. Yeah. There's literally about 400 pounds of rocks in there. And I'm talking big 20, 30.
Yeah, the dogs aren't digging anything.
They're not digging. They haven't dug in months because I've rectified the situation.
So what's the point of them calling? I don't understand.
And then on their side of the fence, they put one of those...
yeah, you told me.
Yeah, the no-climb thing. And I'm like going, what's the fucking problem? Now they're just being dicks.
Yeah,
and that's...
At this point.
Yeah. So it goes back to what I was saying about my lights. I'm going to fucking direct all of them. Then I'm going to leave them on 24/7.
Yeah.
Have the sun shining in
and
your
like I
fucking
said,
living.
and if for some reason that doesn't work, you could get one of these lights shining straight on. Sorry, I have lights on in my house. That's my computer room. I need the light.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, if there's ways to, you need to chill out. Like, don't be calling the cops because people are smoking meat in their backyard, or the fire department.
Oh yeah. Like the neighbors had their little. They got a little fire pit, like nothing like my 6 foot, by fucking 5 foot fire pit.
And it was these people that called your.
I don't know if it was these ones or the ones next. I think
but still the new neighborhood setup.
The new neighborhood, yeah. And I'm like, do they not realize like our neighborhood can't stand that fucking neighborhood? Like when we went to argue and like fight this whole subdivision, like half of this area
didn't want it to come in.
Yeah, exactly. And we all showed up for this very fucking reason.
And that's the unfortunate thing. There was a private owner. I'm sure they made him an offer. He just probably would have been stupid to refuse. And at that point, a deal's a deal, unfortunately. That's the part.
Well, and here's the part that really pissed me off. Well, there's a couple parts. Like, one, they took out all my trees, which they promised that they're going to leave my trees. I have 0 trees now, like, other than the fucking crepe myrtles. Those are bushes, basically.
Yeah, no, I got you on that.
So I was really pissed because, like, when I bought the house, is one of the things that I loved is all the trees and shit. And I've noticed that my electric bill and stuff has gotten higher now that that big gigantic silver maple and those other trees aren't blocking.
Sucks, bro.
Yeah,
it does. It kills your trees.
I mean,
your grass, but
you can feel it in here, man. It's warm.
my house in Louisville, apparently, like 9 months before I moved in there, they cut that tree down. So that's why there was no history of high electric bills until I moved in there.
Dude, it's amazing how much. Yeah. And here's the crazy part. So I don't know if you saw my thing about insurance, homeowner insurance. Mm-hmm. So mine is jumping up to $11,000 from $4,000.
Wait. Well, what? Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on. Your homeowner's insurance?
Yep. Now, mind you, I've been here 20 years, right? So it jumped. So it went from 4,000 to last year. It went to, I think, 9,000, and I have like about literally had a fucking heart attack, and now it's jumping up to 11,000.
What's your coverage?
Fucking the insurance of the house is like, I think, 400,000 or something, and then the land is, I think, like 80,000 or something like that.
Because mine's only like, don't get me wrong, mine's jumping up about $1,000 a year, but it's nowhere near that, dude.
Well, and it's because I had that
$1,000.
Yeah, but you weren't here for the freeze, so I had the freeze claim, and then I had that flood claim. So I had 2 claims.
They raised your rates like that for having a
and that's the fucked up part, because the freeze was an actual national or not national, was it a federal emergency?
Yeah.
So that shouldn't have counted, but it clearly did, because it pulled up when they
shouldn't.
Yeah, so like I go, that's why my fucking mortgage went so high. It's not because of the actual, I mean, yeah, that was part of it, the interest rate, but that was like a minuscule part of it compared to when you escrow the homeowner's insurance.
My mortgage is just stupid, man. I don't even want, that's already stupid. I don't want to go back there, unfortunately. That sucks. That sucks, my dude.
The crazy part is, so I had to get my boat insured, and then I got to get all 5 of my cars insured. And ironically, the car insurance was not bad. Like, it's literally, I think it's less than $300 a month. It's like $280 a month for 5 cars. Like, that's okay.
Cheap. That's understandable. They're all. Well, even for you still have your Benz on it right now?
Yeah. Benz is the only one that's expensive because A, it's still under a loan, and B, because I have like a lot of coverage.
So you still got to cover. Because I was thinking like reducing coverage while it's sitting inside the. I mean, if you're not driving it,
that's true.
It's not like you're having it, and well, unless something falls on it,
which something did fall on it, ironically. Yeah.
That garage, Devin.
And guess what it was that fell on it?
What?
It was a caliper to one of my for the Tundra that weighs like 60 fucking pounds, dude.
Did it fall on the top?
It fell. So, like on the rear trunk area, how it's got that curvature, it fell on the fucking curvature. So now it's like got a curve and then a flat spot and then curve. And I'm like, fuck.
You don't even want it, dude.
Yeah, so I don't know. I might be able to do some paintless dent repair on that because there's no abrasion. Oof. The paint is not nicked or anything like that. It's just a flat part, like, So I don't know if they can glue stick that shit and pull that out or what.
Been watching too much TikTok.
I know, too much YouTube, too much TikTok. I know
that's what that is right there, buddy.
Because I know the thickness on that. You ain't pulling that shit out with no fucking glue sticks.
No, that's crazy, dude. Man.
But yeah, I was actually planning on tomorrow actually taking it to the shop, and then I realized, fuck, I got Kaboom Town that I got to set up for us. I was like, well, I don't have the time to do it tomorrow, so part of tonight, I got to get everything together and kind of place it by the front door so that I have everything ready to go out the door, load it in the truck, and get the fuck out.
Yeah, it's because.
Dude, it's gonna suck having to carry all that shit up the hill.
I was not enthusiastic about having a meeting thrown on my calendar at 4:00. I'm not a fan of 4:00 meetings.
Yeah, like who the fuck's schedule the shit at
4 to 5,
8 and 9 a.m. so that we can get it out of the way and get your shit done.
No comment. I told you I'm frustrated unlimited this week, and my frustration is unlimited this week.
Dude, I feel you, man. Like, I was having an amazing week. Freaking stock market shit's taken off. Like, made $1,000 already this week. So I'm like, dude, everything was going wonderful. Then this shit happened.
I I tell you what, man. Yeah, this week. So we are talking about frustration with the city too, as well.
Oh yeah.
Well, you are because they putting bogus shit on your.
Yeah, like making false allegations.
I'm surprised. I was really waiting for you to turn it over and say uninhabited tortoises or some shit or something. You know what I mean? Something along those.
Honestly,
lines.
that's what I thought it was about. Was the tortoises like
Mhm.
because they're just free roaming, and I'm like, well, shit, I don't know. Do I got to register them or like what the fuck? Like, there's no rabies or anything.
I feel like if they like spying your tortoises, they're gonna report them at one point too. I feel like that's gonna happen, but I mean, speaking of the city, man, like let's talk about fucking Shady Shores, dude.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Like what the F? Like that thing's been dry.
Yep.
That thing's been that thing.
So from what I heard, because I was thinking the same damn thing. Because in the past, when it's dried up like this, they open up the gate and it's all game on. Well, apparently now they have to have a structural engineer come out, and because of the water is still sitting on both sides, so they're worried about the road eroding and shit, and then there's not going to be concrete underneath you when you try to cross.
I totally get that. I totally and I get where they're coming from. People's safety, totally understand that. Get the motherfucking engineer out here and get it done.
Yeah, like yesterday.
It's been almost a month.
Yep.
It's been almost a month that road has been dry. You're gonna sit here and well, we gotta wait for the water on the sides of the subside. I don't care.
Yeah,
figure it out, fix it, get it done,
dude. I've been
give us an update.
Well, here's the worst part. This isn't even as bad as it's been. It's been worse. Like it's been to where the water was literally came all the way up to where Parkside is.
Yeah,
it like where the pond is. That was level all the way to like basically where the stop sign is. That was all water. So I mean, it's been worse. Don't get me wrong, but like
city of Lake
never
Dallas,
been this long.
They're slacking on this. Like they are literally. If anybody's feeling the frustration that I am, they are pissed people because I've seen those barriers moved almost 9 or 10 different freaking times, and they keep putting them up. I've seen it to the point where they're putting a cop down at the other end to monitor it.
Wow.
I've driven through it.
Yeah,
I'm not even scared to admit it. I'm done. I'm done being trapped in my neighborhood. I got to go through a maze to get out. Kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Lake Dallas needs to get on top of their shit.
Like what used to take me literally 3 minutes to get to my boat now takes 15. Like I literally can drive to Dallas in the time it takes me to go from one end of Lake Dallas to the other.
And it's not like, you know what I'm saying, had they worked on Shady Shores 20 years ago when they should have, as all the Lake Dallas residents were telling, hey, get on this, get on this, get on this. Here we are now because they didn't upgrade it in the first place.
Yep.
And now we have to be closed. Like I can't get out of my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like a convenience factor is for me to get out that direction on Swisher. Now I have to cut back through a maze. I know, first world problems, but I don't care. I paid money to live here. My city should take care of me.
Yeah, no, that's kind of why I was arguing about this whole monstrosity that they try to fit 72 houses on this fucking little plot of land. Was I'm like, the roads were already fucking horrible, and now you're gonna add 72 houses.
That's what trips me out is how are none of these new people living here not complaining about that?
Right? Like, go complain about the fucking road.
Like they moved into these new houses, but then they got to ruin their vehicles to get to their new houses. How are they not complaining about it? Like, and then. This stems also from the which I know it's all gone now, but the storm waste cleanup.
Oh yeah.
Like you're gonna rely on Republics to handle that.
Yeah.
Doing bulk pickup, and then
they passed the buck.
Yeah, if you noticed it, if you watched, they would pick up until they're full, and then just leave everything else, and then they'd roll out. They didn't finish. Louisville got one of those. A bunch of those huge like dumpster trucks with the arm and came by people's things and just loaded up a dumpster truck with the arm and just picked up people's storm damage.
Oh, so they didn't have an actual smusher to actually compact it?
No, and then other cities actually brought out the wood chippers to neighborhoods.
Well, that was what my thought was, because they got rid of that big ass tree. That was one of the first things that was gone. I'm like, why that?
Well, you talking about next door? Or
no, I'm talking about the one that
down by the pond.
Yeah, that was completely uprooted.
So
mind you, it wasn't in the road, wasn't blocking, wasn't obstructing, wasn't in
front of our house,
wasn't in front of a house, but yet they took that one first.
Yeah,
and they made that disappear. Meanwhile, the rest of the neighborhood looked like shit for like
I mean,
a few weeks.
I guarantee you, after living here for 1 year, Shady Shores has been a pain point for a lot longer than just 1 year.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you, I used to drive out here 20 years ago for parties and whatnot, and was, you know what I'm saying? It was the exact same freaking road, dude.
Oh no, I mean, I've been bitching about it since day one. I moved in, and I was told 10 years ago that they've surveyed it and that they're, that I've heard so many fucking excuses like that. Oh yeah, we're working on it, or oh yeah, we're waiting on this company and da 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 da. And it's like, just get the fucking thing done. Like, who the fuck is running?
I saw some people down there via some wintertime, springtime.
Yeah, surveying
something.
Yep.
Whatever happened to that? Is it because of that? Whatever they're doing over there, they're doing something right on the corner lot over here. Right as you turn on a Dobbs.
Yeah, they're building a house. That's what that is.
Well, then they're building a basement in it because it's got like a concrete looking. That looked like a watery type thing or something.
I don't know.
That looked official. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it has like cinder blocks and shit for a base instead of a slab.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of wondering what's going on over there, but
no idea.
You know what I mean? But
but the footprint is really small, so yeah. I don't know. To your point, it might be some kind of a government. I don't know.
And then so the creek isn't draining, but for some reason our pond has drained.
And so is our pools.
Like our pond is like, I don't know how low right now.
Right.
Like it's the lowest I've seen it in a while. Where did all that water just evaporated?
Yep.
Well, I guess it did.
It did.
It's got the fountain. Because I noticed when I use my fountains, because I broke one of them, and it hasn't evaporated as fast.
Yeah,
I've noticed that. So
well, and that's the same way with my fountain when my pump was going. Like because it shoots like fucking 20, 30 feet in the air. So yeah. It literally just evaporates.
Yeah.
So I'm actually so I have the canopy to put over the pool, to basically block the sun and keep it shaded and stuff.
Yeah.
I just got to figure out who I can hire to install it, because I am not about to sit there with I have the wire, mind you. Like I have the high tension wire that's expensive as fuck. Like I have that and I have the sails. I just need the anchors and all that shit.
Are you wanting to like do poles? Or are you wanting to mount it to the house and the fence? Or are you wanting to...
I was thinking house, fence.
House is scary, bro.
Why?
Well, so if you did fence and we end up having another like super, super major storm, you get into the solid part and structure of the house, but you could rip some shit off the house, dude. If it's attached to the house. It is a possibility. It may not happen.
Yeah.
But it is like if you got something like a sail,
I'll go into the motherfucking brick, bro.
Yeah.
I go into masonry bit and fucking just drill right fucking 8-inch screw through that motherfucker.
I mean, you could do that, but remember, even with 8-inch, the brick is only 2 inches thick.
Yeah.
Before you start puncturing into...
I'm going to be going into studs and shit. Fuck it. I'll get double secured.
Just saying, when wind gets going like it did that one night, that sail becomes a sail and the fence becomes an anchor, and then your house becomes a... you're going
strip club. What?
You're not in Kansas anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be careful, man. That's can be structurally scary.
Well, yeah, and that's why I'm gonna slope it so that the wind can't get underneath it. The biggest challenge is if the wind gets underneath it, that's when it can. Yeah. So I'm making it at an angle so that way the wind can't really get underneath it, because it'll be level with the fence. It'll be lower actually than the fence. So the fence will act as a breaker, and then it'll basically blow over it.
We hope.
In my mind,
it's a very good theory.
In my mind, it works. Okay, that's all that fucking matters.
Wind doesn't really follow anybody's rules, but okay,
it does. It follows Devin's rules.
I'll remember that next time it blows through my yard and takes the umbrella into trees.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say. Luckily, I keep my umbrella closed, so I don't have that problem.
But yeah, no. Lake Dallas needs to hurry up and take care of their people. They need to quit. I don't know, jackbooting, pussyfooting around.
Did they ever even get a mayor? Because I know the mayor that lives in the neighborhood quit many years ago.
So Donna actually, or no, it wasn't Donna. It was Sorry, it wasn't Donna. It
Where
was
is old Donna?
She's watching.
Oh, is she? Okay.
It wasn't Donna. It was that's right. I reached out to Chamber of Commerce, and I said, "Hey, what's the deal?" I reached out to them about the waste, the yard waste, and they're like, "You can reach out to so and so." And I think somebody told, or maybe it was Donna who told me, the mayor. I can't remember, but they also said, you need to reach out to your city because we don't have a city hall. It's a city something else, or it is city hall.
Council.
Yeah, or something like that. It's right down the street or some shit. City building.
Oh yeah. There's a
Fuck, what is it called?
Yeah, it's City Hall. It's basically the police station.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically the police station. That's basically City Hall.
But that's what they said. That's what they told us to say, reach out to. There's there's a department there that can help you or something like that. And I was like, aren't you the Chamber of Commerce? Didn't you know these things? I'm right in the face. I'm frustrated unlimited of selling. Anyways, yeah, so that's how I'm feeling about Lake Dallas.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think this city is just so run into the ground.
I really wish some of our Lake Dallas residents would hop on and we have a show and really understand how people feel about it over here, at least on this side of things, the Shady Shore side of things.
Yeah, because I can't remember. I think the Wheelers have actually been here longer than I have, and I've been here 20 years.
Jason,
yeah,
Jason Allison. Okay,
yeah. I think they've actually been here longer than I have. Because I don't remember anybody ever moving in and out. Like where I know Dawn, there was somebody named Dawn before Dawn lived there. Ironically,
interesting. That's good. Fun facts.
So it was funny because it was Dawn, Devin, and Dan, the 3Ds.
Yeah.
Oh, and now it still is Dawn.
I mean,
Devin,
it still is. One D's kind of. It's double D's instead of triple D's. Not a bad thing. No more back problems.
Right.
So funny.
One less D.
Anyways, yes, one less D. I mean, who can't benefit from one less D? I'll tell you who can benefit from one less D. Hawk 2 girl.
What about old Hawk 2 girl? What's she up to?
Well, dang it.
She Hawk 2ing it?
I lost it, man. Dang it. Here we go. Let me pull it back up here real quick. So, well, number one, she got pulled up on stage by Zach Bryan when she was hanging out in Nashville at one of his concerts, because apparently the crowd was going crazy around her, of course, and she was in fear, so he gave her a VIP experience. I'm sure he did. Whatever.
He wanted to see that Hawk 2 in action.
She ended up hanging out with Shaq, or actually not like hanging out, but they ran into each other at a bar in Nashville.
Wait, Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah, Shaq was hanging out in Nashville, and they happened to run into each other at one of the clubs or something, according to TMZ.
You and your TMZ for your fucking source of news.
I mean, dude, they're pretty on point.
No, I know. I look at every organization other than TMZ.
They knew as soon as Donald Sutherland passed. I was like, Jesus,
bro. They knew. They were one of the first ones to knew about Michael Jackson passing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they knew like what he died from and everything, propofol and everything else. It's like, damn, how the fuck do they know all this shit? Inside job.
So according to TMZ, apparently, like, she set the record straight. She never got fired from her job. She was not a teacher ever. She was not a teacher.
Thank you for fucking clarifying that. I saw that passed around way too many times.
Apparently, she went on Barstool Sports, one of their podcasts, and set the story straight. Kind of, cleared the air about all that crap. And according to TMZ, she is making doing what she can to like market this. Like, she's got hats, bobblehead dolls, she's got shirts, she's got other kind of merch. Which, you know what, nowadays, like in this day and age, you know what, she found her viral moment, and she's going to capitalize from it. And I can't say that I wouldn't do the same if, like, I have a viral moment. And I don't mean medically. But you know what I mean? Like, in this day and age, like, you capitalize on that, you know.
So what you're saying is when you get herpes simplex, you capitalize on that, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
You like penicillin that or something. I don't know. But I don't know what.
What'd you say about your penis?
No. One's mold and the other's completely opposite. So no.
Wait, you just said your penis is moldy?
Oh,
that's
Jesus
fucked up,
Christ.
bro. You're saying that live on air? That's really fucked up.
Anybody who's
Sorry,
watching
man.
right now, this is not true. That's fake news.
You are fake news.
Fake news. But along with all her marketing and whatnot, apparently she got somebody to help out manage her or help with a management deal. And according to TMZ, Haley Welch, who is best known for the viral Hawk 2 moment, is ready to extend her 15 minutes of fame as she officially landed representation. You're going to laugh at who this is. The management firm Penthouse has come forward as Haley's new rep, confirming to TMZ that they are, in fact, working with the internet's current obsession.
So wait, we're gonna actually see her Hawk Tuah in action? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm gonna go ahead and sit this one out. Rather not. Rather just know that.
Okay, some of us single people are gonna see this.
Yes, I'd rather just know that. Hey, you know what? Somebody out there, she's gonna make somebody really happy. Good for them. You know what? Go party on Nashville. Or you know what? This is one of those girls that Morgan Whalen trying to warn us about. He's like,
oh, the Broadway girls?
Broadway girls. He was talking about Broadway in Nashville. He wasn't.
Oh,
yeah. He wasn't talking about Broadway girls like New York and shit. He's talking about staying away from these girls. And she's, Hawk Tuah, she's probably one of them. But anyways, so United Talent Agency was originally believed to be Haley's rep, but as sources with direct knowledge told TMZ, the Hollywood agency never inked a deal with her. So maybe, I guess, Penthouse approached her and said, and the thing is are they doing a deal like that, or are they just trying to get her money? I don't know. Let's see, it all worked out for the best, it seems, as founder Joni Foster made it clear the company's excited to work with Haley. So maybe it's not the same Penthouse, because I thought Larry Flint was that Hustler?
That's Hustler.
Oh, my bad. Okay, now I got my magazines wrong. But made it clear the company's excited to be working with Haley, though stayed tight-lipped about her first project. Penthouse, there's nothing tight-lipped about that.
Oh, the irony.
As Joni put, Haley's star is on the rise. So much so she could be America's next sweetheart. That's signed to not once you're signed. Not if you do what Penthouse does, you're not. Although since Haley rose to fame with an X-rated viral quote, we're not sure everyone would agree with Johnny's sentiment. Don't forget, even Howard Stern called her, of all people, Howard Stern called Haley every father's worst nightmare.
Oh,
which is kind of weird, dude. Because you want to talk about every mother's worst nightmare, and every at one point in his life, every wife's worst nightmare. He used to, while he was married, get on stage at his Baba Booey's or whatever they were, and he would publicly get fellatio on stage. This is a man that the stuff that came out of his mouth. If you watch the movie Private Parts, that's a very accurate representation of how he got into this world, and for him to come out with every father's worst nightmare.
Well, there's actually another more recent movie that basically talks about how he's changed his persona, that once he went into serious and he got serious money.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, he kind of changed his whole shtick, got rid of the whack pack and all that sort of stuff, and he's kind of turned a new leaf. So
he got rid of the whack pack a long time ago too.
Yeah,
because he had him with Sirius for a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
It was like Beetlejuice and
I think Hank the Angry Dwarf, he ended up passing, and then I think Beetlejuice ended up passing. I think too. Basically half his whack pack fucking.
Yeah, and you want to talk about everybody's worst nightmare? I don't care if he changed up or not, dude. How are you gonna having the past that you have gonna be mad at some girl saying, "Oh, you got a Hawk Tuah that thing,"
right? Meanwhile, he's got a girl straddling a subwoofer.
Yeah, and he's done way worse than that in his studio.
I know.
Yeah,
you remember when he had the Sibian, the vibration chair thing?
Yeah, I mean, dude.
Yeah.
What network was he on? There was a bunch of stuff that they always had to blur out.
E.
And you know what I'm saying? He had a crazy successful career in that too as well. But he's been divorced many times because of his actions and what he does in that studio.
Well, and I think when he got married to Beth, I think that's when things started, and then he started realizing like, oh shit, I got daughters. Do I want my daughters to be like this?
That's having a daughter will change you.
And he's got 2.
And especially if they go back and watch any of your stuff you used to do.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I'm so glad video.
You know what I'm
cameras
saying?
didn't really
Like
exist.
you don't, when you're young and you're, single and getting divorced all the time like he was, you don't think about those things. And then all of a sudden your daughters are grown and you're like, oh shit.
Like, oh shit.
Yep.
Like your goal as a father is basically, if you have a daughter, is to keep your daughter off the pole.
Well,
literally.
Even with this, the internet still can't get enough of Haley when she describes spitting on you-know-what. The search for Hawk Tool Girl has ramped up when fans realized she didn't have any social media, with some creating fake accounts in her absence. So this is where all that stuff spilled from. Like she lost her job and she was a teacher. Apparently, she's not on social media at all, which is crazy. Because she's using social media to launch all this merch.
Wow.
Like she's wearing a hat in one of her pictures that says Hawk Tua 24.
Yeah, no, actually, I have the logo of that before the hat came out. I was like, holy shit, I had the logo that they use for.
I mean, I hope she owns it. Make that money. Everybody make the money. I hope she doesn't go down the penthouse road for her sake. Just make your money off a clean way, please.
Yeah,
you've already verbally abused that, which we do that all the time and we laugh about. But don't do the penthouse thing.
Yeah. So like to add to that, so when I had my entertainment company, I don't know if you remember Alex from Target. It was the big viral sensation. It was this little kid from the Flower Mound Target that worked there. And like all of a sudden he was like this huge sensation. Like he was getting invited to concerts and movies and all premieres and all this shit, right? So we reached out to him because we were like, holy shit, like this is a perfect opportunity to get somebody before they become something big, like basically Hawk Tua. And like we were in talks with him to basically, be under the E-dge umbrella. Because like we saw like, oh my God, this guy's blowing up and like this is a perfect opportunity. And that's basically what Penthouse did, is they swooped in and was like, hey, we got lots of money we can throw. And
well, she broke her silence. And by the way, I'm finding out what the podcast name is, Plan Brie, and hosted by somebody named Brie or Brianna, right?
Okay.
So Plan Brie instead of Plan B.
Yeah.
So so it's Brie La Pagilala. I'm Leia. Everybody's probably gonna ruin me for butchering that, but she didn't want to be known as just the Hawk 2 girl. So she wants to expand her portfolio, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what that.
Well, she's gonna be expanding something, but I don't know if it's gonna be her portfolio.
Yeah, what do y'all think, ladies and gentlemen? You think she should keep her innocence and stay out of the videos, and capitalize just on the social media fame and merch, or are you a fan of her going down that other path, which, a lot of people do nowadays anyways?
Mm-hmm.
Like, are we going to end up hearing about her, like, she's got an OnlyFans and blah, 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 blah. And, like, does she have to follow what everybody else does nowadays?
Yep. Unfortunately.
I get the draw to the money of that stuff. I get it because it's fast. It's easy money.
Mm-hmm.
But, and yes, you want to have money, and money's great. And if you know how to hold on to it, that's awesome. But you have no skills. Like, your skill is masturbation. Like,
what wasn't masturbation? It was fellatio.
No, I'm talking about just OnlyFans chicks in general.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's OnlyFans chicks that do everything, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if it ever doesn't work out for you and you do have to get a job? What are you going to put on that application? I guess you could probably sell sex toys. I don't know. This is one of my reviews. Check it out. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just.
And what's crazy is how many girls and stuff are doing that nowadays.
Well, it's because it's money.
Yeah.
People are in love with money. It is what it is. Like,
and they're in love with the fastest, easiest way. Like, there's a lot of memes and stuff going around where like they show like the easy way to success, and then the hard way to success, and like everybody's lined up in the easy way, and nobody in the fucking the hard way. Like nobody wants to put the sweat equity. Like the thing is like the younger generation is so lost. Like like they don't even understand insurance, bro. Like they don't understand like that you have to pay money to make money, like taxes. Like they're like, wait a minute, I gotta pay money because I made money. Like they can't wrap their fucking head around that.
Well, and it doesn't help when you have the people that say, I didn't ask to be born. Why should I have to have insurance?
Yes,
like,
it's those people.
But
just so y'all know, that's a reference to one of our other shows where we had a guest.
I'm not gonna lie, man, they're making so much bread off these OnlyFans channels that they can probably afford insurance. They could probably afford Cobra.
Oh yeah.
Like if you really want to break it down, like, and that's the thing is everybody's in love with the fast buck because money is a fun thing to have. It doesn't like I said, it doesn't always make you happy. You're happy when you're spending it,
right?
But it doesn't always make you happy.
Well, and that's the thing, and like that's what I realize is like like the more money you make, it just means you're gonna go out and spend more money. That's all that means. It's like you're gonna buy higher ticketed item stuff because you're like, I can afford it, and then all that does is just it's more fucking headache.
I buy the higher ticketed items, but they're spread out though. But if I had cash coming in like that, I don't think they would be as spread out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think
you'd have constant Amazon at your door.
I think so, dude. Like, I really do, and I'm not saying that's a good thing. No. But like, young in your 20s, that's what you're doing. You don't have anybody committed to, or in some of these cases, they do, and some people are okay with dating an OnlyFans girl. I don't know. You're taking the home to meet mom. Eventually,
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, Molly, how's it going?
What up, Molly? How's my favorite daughter doing? Did you finally get moved into your new place, or are you still at the other place? And did they fix your fucking AC finally? No, she told me that they did.
I've read a lot of horror stories about AC this summer.
Oh,
it's just crazy. But no, I'm just saying. No, she said not yet. Which one? They haven't fixed the AC, or you haven't moved yet?
I think it's the moved yet.
But yeah, man, it just I for her sake, I hope she stays, as they put it, America's sweetheart. I don't see her being America's sweetheart talking about hot tua and spit on that thing, but that's not what I would see coming out of Miss America's mouth, during a pageant. But
I'm just curious, how are parents explaining to their kids like who this girl and why she's famous?
I don't know. She says she's moving on the 20th and they fixed it.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like the funny thing about that is I said you wouldn't expect something like that to out of Miss America pageant to come out of some girl's mouth, but nowadays with who's winning these Miss whatever pageants, you never know what's going to come out of their pants either. Like, that's real talk, man. There was another state that just crowned another
transvestite.
I don't know which it could be a she. She could identify as a she. If it's Miss, she probably identifies as a she. So a person that identifies as a female, because I'm going to be very polite here and I'm not going to dog on it, but yeah, won another pageant. So you saw, speaking of along this lines, you saw they stripped home girl of all his medals, the swimmer.
Yes.
And gave him to,
thank Lord. And
the thing is the real funny controversy about this is when he swam with men, he wasn't even in in his division. He wasn't even like the top 15.
Yeah, he sucked.
He was terrible. And all of a sudden, and I get it, if he identifies as this, fine. That's no problem. That's his thing to deal with. But then you switch over to female sports and just dominate. You can't tell me that's fair. Like,
no, it's definitely not fair.
Like, it's just not. Like, if you were a poor...
an easy solution to that is, right?
What?
Just make it so, like, if you have X amount of testosterone in your body, you can't compete in the women's.
That's just it.
And then if you have X amount of estrogen in your body, you can't compete in.
I agree.
There you go. Problem solved.
But
it's no longer he, she. It's hormones.
And don't get me wrong. I've seen some women out there that bodybuild and shot put and stuff and do things like that that could beat a man's ass. You know what I'm saying? So it goes both ways. But if I suck at a sport,
yeah,
and then literally because I decide I identify as something, and all of a sudden I'm just dominating everybody, I didn't earn shit.
Right.
I'm sorry, I didn't earn those. I swam hard. I won't take that away from him, or her, or whatnot. Probably practices all the time, whatnot. But you aren't even in the top 15 to 20 in your actual division. You switch divisions, and it's not even a contest in some cases where he won these medals. She won these medals.
Bro, I just saw an ad for MAGA, MAGA.com.
Mm-hmm.
It says only felons 2024 instead of only fans. They're selling a fucking hat, no bullshit, that says only felons. And it's got a picture of Trump in the O, where the O is on the only. I can't make this shit up.
you that's what they don't understand, man. When they come after Trump like they are, they solidify. And do you hear how much money got put into his campaign? Donations into his campaign in like 24 hours after what happened.
Yeah.
Millions.
Oh yeah.
Millions of dollars.
I think there was one donor that like donated like 5 or 50 million. I can't remember.
When he said on the debate the other night, that is one of probably the largest group of donations in any presidential campaign in history. He probably wasn't lying that time. He knows how I put that. That time. Like, they came out of the woodworks after that happened, dude.
Well, the funny thing is, so I do the investments and all that sort of stuff, right? So whenever I watched the debate, I went and immediately fucking bought stock in DJT, because I was like, dude, his fucking stock is gonna skyrocket after this fucking debate because it sucked so bad. And I'm like, I'm not saying his debate, like, obviously he lied 32 times, or how many ever times, it was 30 something. So I'm like his debate wasn't good either. So it's not like
I'm
like, listen, America, you can have two wrong choices. I'm going to put that out there. You don't have to decide one or the other. They both can be bad choices. It's like, do meth or do heroin? Which fucking one do you going to choose? They're both fucking bad.
So even with that said, okay, this is probably the most mature I've ever seen Donald Trump in a debate.
Yeah, I mean,
the only thing he argued with was his backswing and golfing.
Oh yeah, I saw that. They're fucking golfing. I didn't. Why are the dogs? I just saw Michael running back and forth in the backyard.
Okay, all right. But
then I heard Willow go. Oh, I heard Willow first, and then I look over and I'm like,
I guarantee you, somebody told Trump, back it down. Biden will bury himself.
Yeah, like, you let him
talk.
Yeah.
And because there was that one time he's like, I'm not sure what he said at the end there. I'm not even sure if he knows what he said. And then I was like, damn, man. And then he just didn't insult him the rest of the time, other than being a bad president.
Yeah.
And then they started arguing about the playing golf, and then it kind of stopped. He goes, we're not here. He goes, we're not gonna go back and forth with that. Finally gave up on it. He goes, somebody somewhere was like, be mature tonight. You don't have to make fun of them. Trust me, it will right itself. Like, that's somebody who said, Trump, don't worry, this is going to be a short. And then Biden's family and his supporters walked him out into a firing squad, bro. Like, oh, you're going to do great tonight. Somebody didn't take his anti-sleepy pills.
Well, what's weird? It's like, I was watching Biden, and it's almost like they gave him some kind of speed, or I hate to say this, coke. Like, I don't know if he got high on his son's supply, but like, I was watching him, and like, when your brain goes too fast but your mouth can't keep up, like, it was almost like he had like 50 thoughts in his head, but whatever they gave him to kind of make him not be so sleepy, because I was noticing his speech patterns were irregular, not his normal talking really slow like this, and I'm Sleepy Joe. Like, he was more energetic and more fluid with his words. It wasn't, but that was the problem. Is they sped him up, but you speed somebody up that can't articulate. Yeah, it's like squirrel.
Well, they said he was sick that night too, supposedly. Whatever.
Yeah, they came up with like 50 million.
Really, what really makes me laugh is I saw how pale he looked on the stage, and then I don't know if you saw the last 2 days, Trump's legal team has found a possible loophole that has something to do with immunity of bringing up certain weaponizing certain evidence. I don't know the ins and outs, so don't get me quoting on it, but Biden came out and actually gave a statement on it. This is what, 2 days later after the debate, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden he's tan and got a little more color in his hair.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's like, what happened between, was it Sunday night or Monday night? I can't remember. What happened between that night and this
like in 2 or 3 days.
Like, yeah, dude, who spray tanned this fool? Like, is he taking the Trump route?
I think he is. Next, he's gonna have orange hair.
I mean, dude, he can barely walk, dude. That's what's scary, man. He can barely walk on his.
I think he's way past his prime. Like, you know how like I wouldn't even issue that guy a fucking driving license. That's how bad he is. Like, like, here's the way I look at it. Would I hire either one of those people to do any kind of work for me? No. Then I don't want them running the country. Period. That's it. Would I hire them? No. Then fucking I'm not voting for them. Period.
But the really crappy thing about it is, and I know it was the White House doctor that did it, but Trump actually did take 2 cognitive tests, and Biden has flat out refused to take a cognitive test.
Yeah, because we know he's gonna fucking fail.
I would like to see that.
Oh, I would like. I think
like to see.
They should OnlyFans that shit.
No, only felons.
Only felons that shit.
There's a lot of stuff that I hate to say it, but Biden should be convicted on too as well. That dude's also, especially with the involvement in Ukraine and his involvement to where to avoid a issue with Hunter Biden getting prosecuted in Ukraine, to avoid an issue to Hunter getting prosecuted in Ukraine, Zelensky asked for money, of course, because of what's going on, the fight. Biden said, I will give you this money if you change your, basically, I forget what it's called, but like your DA that's going to prosecute him. You need to change the prosecuting attorney or whatnot in Ukraine. So that way we can get him out of trouble, basically. Basically held, I don't forget how much money, and then as soon as the attorney or whatever got changed, we gave him like $2.4 billion or some shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's speculation without documents to prove that's just...
Oh no, it's been the proof is on Hunter's laptop that they won't let us see.
Dude, that laptop's been out for many years before the war even fucking started. So that timeline doesn't compute.
There's evidence on that laptop about his dealings and also within emails of his dealings.
So what you're getting confused, your facts aren't right. So the Ukraine thing that you're referring to was well before the war, well before Zelensky and all this shit has happened. That is a completely separate, it's about a shell company that basically funneled money into and I forget the whole specifics of it, but that was not related to the war or anything like that.
So we were giving them money before the war?
So he got $300,000. This is just going from my memory. I don't know the exact figure amount. It was like $300,000 that he got for services to some Ukraine.
Right. No.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the money we gave to Ukraine to change, to basically, if you don't change the prosecuting attorney. This is on paper. No, that is on paper.
I haven't heard anything about that.
That is on paper. You can go look that up. They changed that. That's actual factual stuff. They changed the prosecuting attorney. And I don't know, but I know there was money involved. And we said, and Mr. Biden, basically, all of a sudden, after the attorney got changed, all of a sudden, somehow we sent money that's on record to Ukraine, just magically after that happened. So no, did Biden get on record and be like, yeah, I'm going to give it to them if they do this? No, you're right. But there is record of us giving money to them, and it just was mysteriously just happened to be after the attorney got switched, or attorney, I forget what it's called out there. It's something different than what it's here, but it's still basically.
Yeah, I'd have to look into it because that I hadn't heard of. But then again, like I try to stay away from politics because either way you look at it, they're all corrupt. And
that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, like the thing that people are bitching about Trump and everything about like all of these the Democrats going after him and everything else. I'm like, y'all haven't seen shit yet. Those 93 charges, I go, that's nothing. Wait until the IRS comes after him. Those 93 charges, they ain't gonna be shit compared to when the IRS comes after him. Because guess what? They already set a precedent. I don't think America even realizes this, but with that court fucking case, it now sets a precedent that he committed fraud on his financial statements. Ding, 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 ding. Who is the one that's in charge of fucking?
But it also sets a precedent that we will never be able to undervalue any of our properties.
Right. Well, the problem is, it's not that he undervalued; it's he undervalued in certain situations and then overvalued in as far as loans. And this is exactly what he did with the IRS. He undervalued and said he's bankrupt, basically. And then he went to the loan people and said, I'm rich, I'm a billionaire, give me money, blah, blah, blah. Well, you can't have both. You either are one or the other. You can't have both.
Well,
you can't be bankrupt and then get $1 billion loan. Or
somehow he got both. I don't know, man.
Well, that's why I'm saying there is, and it will come to light, and it will take fucking 5+ years.
It'll come to light, but when are we going to get the Epstein list?
Oh, that's one of my stories. Glad you brought it up.
Because I need to see.
Judge ordered surprise release of Epstein's transcripts.
Yeah, please.
A judge in Florida. Let me read the brief.
When you say transcripts, is this a list of names or is this a court case?
Hold on. I'm going to read it. You're going to behold. I'm glad you brought this up. A judge in Florida has ordered the release of graphic transcripts from the 2006 prosecution of Jeffrey Epstein, a case that ended with Epstein receiving a lenient sentence despite serious charges of sex trafficking and rape. The nearly 200 pages of documents include details of Epstein's crimes and testimonies from victims. The judge criticized the state's leniency in the case and noted that the public has a right to understand the full extent of Epstein's criminal activities and the controversial plea deals he received. What are your thoughts about like the release? Like, because to your point, like, where has it been? Like, why are we not like? Where's our freedom?
I want to see the transcripts, but I want this list, this list of names that Eminem is supposedly on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What you been talking about his flight logs?
There's a list of actual people that have been to this island. The speculated list got released last year, and Eminem and like a couple other people were on this list. And I was like,
you know what's even worse than that? I don't know if you know this or not. So you know how like I have cameras everywhere in the fucking house. Like apparently Epstein has not only cameras everywhere, but he's got them in every room in his estates. And so the government seized all of his assets, including those tapes and shit. So they have like literally video.
That's the scary part. The government has.
I know, and that's where it's like, yeah, we'll never.
If you were to tell me like somehow a private news source got a hold of it, I'd be like, But
dude, I wish like WikiLeaks or whatever, Julian Assange. Now that he's a free man, I wish he would fucking somehow get his hands on that shit.
Like
that would be awesome.
What trips me out is, I'm sure somebody somewhere is working on it.
I'm surprised, honestly. Hey, Anonymous, if you're listening out there, I'm surprised you guys haven't fucking, like, literally, what have you been doing? I haven't heard from y'all in about 5 years. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Y'all should go after both Trump and Biden.
Yeah, go after both of them.
Just do it.
Just fucking, like, can we just
Nike. No, just do it.
Just do it.
But, I mean.
Speaking of Nike, their stock is in the fucking toilet.
Well, I mean, go woke, go broke. I mean, no, you know what? I'm not. Stop it, Andy. But
I mean, you're not wrong. So,
but yeah, man, I'm like, he's got cameras and stuff. But the problem is that the government has it. And the thing is even if I'm a good person in the government, right?
Yeah.
And I find evidence of somebody that I'm associated with, and have either endorsed or something or whatnot, I'm guilty by association at that point. So I'm still the government. I'm going to do what I can to hold on to this and redact it. So that's the scary part.
Well, I think the problem is that there's government officials on that list.
Yeah. Current.
Yeah.
I'm sure Trump's on there.
I guarantee. We've already seen pictures from inside that, yeah.
We know the Queen was involved with Henry Epstein, or with, not Epstein. Wait.
You're thinking of the
Weinstein,
Prince.
Henry. Thinking of Henry Weinstein. Jeffrey Epstein, even the Prince, and there's evidence that Jeffrey and Meg, God, what's her name? Maxine? No,
Meghan Markle?
no, Jeffrey's right hand chick.
Oh, Maxine Giswell.
Yeah, Giswell. I don't know how to say her name, but there's a picture of them at the royal family's cabin. Like, there's hardcore evidence that they know each other and have rubbed shoulders. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like maybe Queen Elizabeth's name's on that, and they don't want that to come out. And that's going to tarnish a reputation of a dead woman. Like, like next thing you know, he'll be like, Princess Di was there.
I think the problem is that there's so much corruption and there's so much shit going on that, like, the government's to the point where, like, they can't cover it all up. Because, like, look at the whistleblowers and Boeing. Like, we all know Boeing is now offing all these whistleblowers, but like, do we have proof? No. That's the thing.
Is anybody releasing autopsies of these people or causes of death?
So I did do a little bit of investigation work on that last guy who supposedly died in his truck.
Careful, you're gonna die in your truck if you do this.
Okay, so let me kind of, based off of my observation,
he unalived in his truck.
Yes. So what was really ironic or kind of weird is he unalived himself, supposedly, in his truck with the doors locked and the car running. Or no, the car was off, or the truck. It was one of those Ram TRXs, one of those really expensive, but it was like bright fucking orange. Yeah, like it was very obvious that this was this guy's truck. There's no like mistaking it. Somehow he offed himself, and the keys were in the car or in the truck, and the doors were locked, which I know for a fact that I can't lock my keys in my truck.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, none of this shit makes sense. Like, and even people, like, comments and stuff were like, dude, that's impossible for him to lock his keys in his truck. But yeah, so it's just, there's a lot of suspect stuff. And then there's, like, if you look at the video footage, there's a couple scenes that are missing. You know, kind of like the whole Pentagon thing whenever the plane crashed, right? And then they confiscated the footage from the 7-Eleven, and they literally show you one clip, and then the next clip they show you is like the thing has already hit the building, and they cut the 1, 2, 3 scenes in the middle.
Like at this point in the world,
yeah,
it's like these people are so powerful they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious that they off somebody and they don't care,
and that's the sad part.
It's just like, what was it?
Because it's like, well, how can we prove it?
What was it? Several years back, where was it a journalist, or was it he went into something? They captured him or something. He never came out or something, and ended up being like, we flat out proved that he was assassinated. Like, oh, God,
you're talking about that journalist, Khashoggi, or no, not Khashoggi. I think I know what you're talking.
I can't remember who the official was, but yeah, somehow I don't know if it was in Egypt or something like that. But yeah, they like he went to the consul and never came out, never was. Yep. Yeah. Like, and there's people just doing this, and they're like, yeah, it happened. Nothing gonna happen to us. Like, it's crazy.
Well, and that's kind of like the whole 9/11 thing. First they were saying it was, Afghani, and it was this, that, and the other. And now they're saying the research shows that it was actually mostly Saudis. And who do we do a lot of business with?
Saudi.
Yeah, exactly. And who do we get most of our oil and shit from?
I'm going to be real honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of fossil fuels, okay?
Yeah.
We need them for now.
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Till we get something better, because nothing has been a viable substitute.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to decrease our dependency on foreign fossil fuels. That's one thing I am totally for. I don't want to see the future of fossil fuels like forever, obviously.
Right.
But I don't want to be depending on people like the Saudis for oil.
Well, to your point, I feel like we should be self-sustained, period.
Right.
We should not now, don't get me wrong. Yes, we need to trade with other countries and stuff like that. But trading is one thing. Becoming dependent is a whole nother thing. And that's in business. The minute you don't have manufacture, create all of the stuff in-house, you no longer have control over the product. You no longer have quality. Thank you. And that's why, like, there's no quality control. Like, you literally, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Like, if you're doing a big, huge order in China and it arrives and it's all wrong, you're fucked. Like, there's nothing you can do. You have no quality. You have no oversight. You have no control over that.
Got no way to go back to them.
And that's my thing is, like, you know what? Instead of us meddling in other people's affairs, other countries and shit, like, let's fix all the problems here first. Like, show these. Don't talk about doing shit. Just do it and do it here. Set a good example.
And quit giving them fucking money.
Yes, and stop giving illegal people my fucking money.
Countries in general. Stop giving countries sending money out of the country, let alone spending it on illegal immigrants, but sending it out of the fucking country.
Right.
Like, that's the one. So with this oil thing, that's the kind of, I know it sounds crazy, but that's one of the few things I agree with Trump on. We have to decrease our dependency on foreign oil supplies, period.
Yeah.
Because, like, and I know I think we get some from Brazil or something from South America, but it's nothing compared to the kind of pockets we're into with the Saudis.
Right.
They're drilling oil left and right out of their lands. We might as well do it too.
Well, and the other thing is, like, OPEC too. Like, they dictate the prices and shit, and they basically, supply and demand. They basically dictate what the price is going to be, and it's just the whole thing is just it's absurd.
I hate dictators.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anybody else still hanging out with us out there? Can you say hello?
Yeah, y'all been awfully quiet out there.
Been a very quiet evening outside of Molly. Anybody else hanging out? Say hello, right? Say hi.
Say what's up.
Give us a chat up.
Yeah, let me know if you're going to be able to make it out to the big party tomorrow, because it's going to be awesome. I know it's going to be hot, but I'm going to have some fans and misters and all that sort of shit set up.
Mr. Who? I'm just kidding.
I do have one of those, those evaporator coil fan type things?
Swamp cooler?
Yeah, swamp cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have one of those, but it's got a hose hookup.
Yeah, those, and they, I mean, in a garage, they're decent. Outside, it's all right.
Yeah.
Outside, it doesn't do a ton. What really the only drawback to swamp coolers, the only drawback is that they make it humid as fuck. They really do.
Yeah.
They'll cool it down, but it's a humid cool.
Right. Well, I remember last year I had the ice cooler with the Ryobi,
which was really dope if you put your face right in front of it.
Yeah.
or went like this. Yeah, that thing did its job. They're still selling those at Home Depot.
Yeah, I wonder if they actually came down in price or if they're still ridiculously expensive for what you get.
I did not look. They show it on top of a bucket now, rather than the because you had it on a water cooler, right?
No, I had it on top of a 5-gallon Gatorade, one of those Gatorade cooler. Yeah, because they show it on top of a Home Depot bucket, but I was like, no, I want to keep the water iced, so that way when it missed, it's like freezing ass cold.
Yeah, because you put it in a bucket, it's gonna melt fast.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna melt real fast.
Who
all still hanging out with us? I see a couple of y'all out there. Say hello. Do you have anything you want to talk about? We can talk about it on the podcast.
Okay, Biden.
Feel free. Come on, man. Oh, that's a bunch of malarkey. She's over here just lying left and right. I remember like 600 times $1 billion, and just too much spending. He's a bad dude. That guy Joe Rogan running Russia.
Oh, so it's Rogan's running Russia?
Yeah.
I mean, it does have a nice ring to it.
Joe Rogan, talk about me over there running Russia.
That's fine.
I don't know, man. We are in a joke of a political race these years, these final years of our existence. You gotta. I don't even know. I call him a celebrity. I don't even know what to call Trump. He's not a politician. I mean, he acts like one, but he's not.
I mean, he's a liar, so yeah, technically, yeah, he's a politician.
I mean, yeah, he was
by definition, I think that is politician.
Not like he didn't lie before he was a politician either. And then we got decrepit grandpa. What did we do? What were we thinking to get ourselves into this position, America? goodness gracious.
Yeah, we done fucked up.
We're hurt no matter what.
Yes, two feathers, two wings of the same bird.
4 more years of Biden is gonna just. I don't know.
I don't see it happening, honestly.
Well, I don't see Trump completely ruining us. I see him plunging us into more debt, but I don't see him completely ruining us. I do see a little bit of money coming back to America, where Biden just seems to be handing it out to China and Ukraine left and right to every decision that he makes.
You get $1 million. You get $1 million. Yeah. Everybody gets $1 million.
And then, you know what I mean? We borrowed that money from China. What was it? Oh my God, it was an insane amount of money that we're in their pockets for. And then we turn around and then just, I hate to say it, I love the stimulus money, but we just gave out free money to America.
I don't know about because I didn't get a fucking dime of it, and it was and I need my money back, please. Thank you.
I mean, okay, so let me be real. I got that money, had to turn around and sign it right back to the government for taxes that year. So did I really get any money? No, I guess I didn't.
Right.
But guess what? Paying for it at the gas pump. Where do you think our part of inflation came from? I'm not saying that's the only cause. Just saying it didn't hurt. It didn't help it at all.
Yeah, no. Well, and that goes back to, them owning the oil and OPEC and everything else. They can charge and dictate whatever the fuck they want.
I'm interested to see if Biden's got any investments in oil. He's talking about clean energy initiatives and stuff, which is Green Deal. I really do. I don't like it at all. I think it's bullshit. It puts money in the wrong pockets. But that's what his people want to do. So I don't know.
Well, you're being contradictory because you don't want to rely on fossil fuels, but then you don't want green. So, like, wait, what?
I don't want his Green Deal. His Green Deal is bullshit because it's not a real deal. It's putting money in everybody else's pockets, and we're not doing anything to truly help the environment.
Yeah. Well, the problem is we don't have enough innovators. We don't have enough creative fucking people. Like, I mean, you can go through my Facebook and you can see all the stuff, like from solar panels to cars and everything else. There's not a fucking single thing that I can't make better. And it's just like, we need more people like me that don't think like every fucking person, because every person before them says this exact line, and this is the fucking line that is driven me fucking nuts for years. Well, we've been doing it this way for 100 years. We've been doing it this way for 50 years. We've been doing it this way for 20 years. Like, when I hear that, I fucking cringe.
You know what I think the other wing of that bird is?
What's that?
The same kind of mentality as the medical industry. We don't want to cure,
right?
We just want to treat. And so I feel like
there's no money in curing.
Yes.
There's money in treating. I know.
So a good example is if we came up with a fusion battery, technically that should last forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So where's the money if car runs on fusion? Where's the money in having to recharge them? Where's the money in having to refill the gas? Where's the money that the constant sales? Nobody is. I think it's both. What you're talking about,
mm-hmm.
lack of innovation, etc. And I think the other side of it is, well, we want to make sure we can continue to sell and make money before we get everybody a solution.
Well, and the biggest thing is, and this is what I experienced working for big, corporate $1 trillion companies and stuff, is they're all about ROI, and that mentality needs to go out the fucking window. It needs to be about what is better for mankind. Like, stop looking at the fucking figures and stop looking at how much money can we profit from this idea. And that's the problem with like even the green initiatives and stuff. It's like look at, like, that's not benefiting humanity. It's not benefiting mankind. It's benefiting the CEOs of those companies that are getting the money from the government to, but at the end of the day, it's the same reason why we don't recycle. And newsflash to all you people who think you're actually recycling, go follow a fucking recycling truck in Louisville and find out where it goes, because I've done it and I've seen where it goes.
Right to the dump.
It goes right to the fucking same landfill.
Yeah.
It's all a farce, guys. Like, everything in your entire life you've been lied to.
I'm anxious to see where the Lake Dallas one goes.
Oh, I've already followed it. It goes right to the fucking Louisville landfill. The big mountain in Louisville.
Oh, they go to Louisville?
Yep.
So what the fuck's up with Denton? They don't go to Denton?
They don't go to Denton.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. Like, but I don't know if that's well. Let me rephrase that. When it was waste management, their big this area would always go to Louisville. So I don't know with Republic. I don't know who owns the landfills. I don't know if there's. I'm assuming since Republic took over waste management that they still own that landfill and stuff. But like I haven't taken any brush or anything in my 10-foot trailer to. That's the whole reason why I found out is because I was taking brush and stuff like that, and I was taking it to the landfill. And so that's where I literally looked over and I'm like, that's a recycling truck. And I was just like going, wow, what a waste of time. Might as well just throw it all in the trash if it's going to go to this fucking place.
I mean, not that I'm great to the environment, but shit, I do try to recycle some shit. Fuck.
But did you hear, like, do you know the backstory of why we don't actually recycle in the United States?
Anywhere? Oh, this is anywhere?
This is anywhere in the United States, not just here.
Ugh.
So,
what?
Truth be told, they used to ship all of our trash and stuff to China, and then China would process it and then make products and stuff out of it. But because of the cost of fuel and the cost of and all that sort of stuff, and their
relationship with them.
And our relationship, yep. So we have kind of got caught with our pants down, so to speak.
Didn't realize that. I did not know that America did not recycle at all.
No, it's literally statewide. It's not just here.
It's kind of heartbreaking, man. Like
it is, because you think you're doing your part. In reality, you're not.
Because honestly, aluminum is number one. Aluminum can be recycled. It can. It can be melted down, filtered out, and recycled. That's legitimate. Plastic can be recycled. Ugh.
Well, the problem with plastic is there's different types of plastic.
I know, and you can't mix them all together.
Yep. There's ABS, there's PVC, there's
there's filament,
filament,
polyeth. There's polyurethane, polyethylene too. There is filament for 3D printers.
Yep.
There's a lot of plastics out there, different types. And unfortunately, you cannot mix them all together for recycling, especially depending on what the application is.
And it's even more crazy that like we as humans allowed us to get in the situation where we're making something that is so toxic to the environment.
Well,
with plasticides and everything else. I'm like, where was the research? Why the fuck was this not done?
It was done. It's just people ignored it and swept it on the rug, and 6 billion people turned into 15 billion people, and now it just it's not enough out of that 16 billion to make a difference. What is the current population of the world? Is it 16 billion?
Nah, I think it's like 8 billion. Hold on.
Nah, dude, because we were like at 12 billion not too long ago. Current world population.
I was right.
What?
8.1 billion with a B.
We've decreased a little bit. What was it 2 years ago? Or no, you know what? Better yet, what was it in 2019 before we had the COVID scare? This should be interesting. This should be eye-opening.
7.742 billion.
The fuck, man? People need to stop doing it. Stop having kids.
Actually, that's not really that bad.
Have one.
Have one. Yeah, be like me. Have one and done. Just stop at perfection. You're good.
So there's less. I could have swore there was like 12 billion not too long ago. I swear that was the number.
So
crazy. Okay.
The growth rate is 0.91% per year, which is up from 0.88 in 2023. So our growth rate is expanding. Well, I mean, obviously, if you have a bigger population, you're gonna have more fucking people fucking.
Where is and why? I mean, I guess death rate just is not catching up at all.
No, but because of the millennials and because of everything that's going on, like they're like, dude, like no bullshit. They're really worried because men now have like zero interest in women. Like men are now
that goes back to that Universe 25 experiment with the mice. Did I ever tell you that one?
No, but I kind of watched something on the 25 experience.
It's Universe 25. They started out with like gosh, was a colony of 25 mice or something, or they. I'm gonna screw this whole thing up, but the mice ended up. They gave them all the food they could get and need and whatnot, and there's like the mice developed a certain class system. There was so-called beautiful mice that no longer were interested in mating. So we put it like that. No longer interested in mating, didn't care, got fat, got lazy, found gatherers to get the food for them.
So here's what's happening with society, because everybody wants that instant gratification and nobody knows how to work for anything and nobody knows how to put sweat equity into stuff. And everything is that instant dopamine hit. They're no longer seeking relationships with women because basically guys have no interest in women nowadays because they realize, like, what's the point? Like, they're going to cost me money. If we break up, we divorce, then I lose half of my shit. There's literally no incentive for a dude. Zero.
That's perpetuated by the divorce rate, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, it is, but it's also perpetuated by the ease of being able to contact new.
Not just that. You not just contact buying sex dolls and robots from China
or getting on OnlyFans like that. So there's a country, I forget which country it is. They somewhere in Africa that just got Starlink, and guess what?
Oh no! It was an island, and they got Starlink, and the entire tribe had become addicted to
social media and porn
and messing with themselves.
Yep. And so like they're saying like the whole entire they are completely addicted now to porn and shit. Yeah. And that's basically what they're saying about guys. They're like, well, if I need that gratification, like I just turn on a channel and then I'm done, and then I don't have to deal with the woman's bullshit. I don't have to deal with her drama, her stress. I don't have to deal with all that time of the month. I don't have to deal with none of that shit.
So because I have struggled with this and I've actually was able to kick it, I've done research. The thing is what a lot of people don't get is it gives you an instant hit of dopamine, and it's a false hit of dopamine.
That's exactly what I said earlier.
What it causes too, especially if you're forcing an orgasm on a regular basis, is it causes other chemicals to be imbalanced at times too as well, which can lead to anxiety, stress. I'm trying to think. Probably, I would assume maybe people with I don't know. I forget what else there is, but it's the anxiety and stress was labeled.
Well, and that goes back to what I was saying about social media and everything else. That dopamine hit, right? Like that's the whole point of.
Oh yeah, everybody likes the likes.
Yes, they live for likes and views and all that sort of stuff. To them, that's what matters. To me and to our generation, we could give a fuck less, because at the end of the day, it's like that ain't paying our bills. But in the eyes of the younger generation, they look at it as like, hey, I can be the next Mr. Beast. In reality, it's like being like, I can be the next LeBron. Like, no.
Yeah, but I feel like Mr. Beast is married. So,
well, no, I'm talking about money.
I know, but you know what I mean? Like,
is he married? I don't even know.
I thought he was. I thought he was married. Maybe I'm probably way off. But there's not the value of the family is just not in a lot of places anymore.
Right.
It's it sucks, but a lot of the value of family centered around religion, and a lot of people have moved away from religion and haven't really kept the value of family. And it shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't have to align religion with family, but unfortunately the trend is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So he has a girlfriend, but they know he's not married.
Okay. Now, I will say this. So, we have some hope about the population. So I looked up the death rate versus birth rate 2024.
Mm-hmm.
So according to Macro Trends, the world's death rate in 2024 is projected to be 7.756
million or billion.
Death rate. That's just here. Hold on. Sorry, 7.756. While the birth rate is projected to be 17.29% per 1,000 people. Now, I know that sounds like it goes...
So a 10% difference, basically.
Yeah, so I know it sounds like it's going in the opposite direction because I said, the death rate, but this is, according to this is a 0.94% decline in the birth rate from 2023. So we are decreasing a little bit in the birth rate. People are having less kids. And a 0.58 or 0.58 increase in the death rate. So death rate went a little higher than 2023, while the birth rate dropped a little bit, but the birth rate's still higher than the death rate. So we're still working against ourselves, right?
Right.
But there is hope. And the thing is as you're saying, men are getting less. And again, this is a universe 25 when everything is given to you, right? When everything's given
Project
to you,
2025.
It turns into again, no sweat equity, no anything of that nature.
Right.
You're given stuff. It's instant gratification. It's all that mixed into one. And so those people aren't having kids. Younger people, have you seen, as you followed, are building fucking RVs out of FedEx trucks and going jet setting and working from home and not having any attachments.
And I found out the reason why that is. You know what it is? The catalyst for that is because they realize that there's no way they can afford housing. Because if you look at...
Well, yeah, that's true too. And these people, it started with millennials and moved into Gen Z. And the trend that they saw is that they are buying less versus renting less, or as you're seeing, traveling, because they don't want the obligation. They're not having families because they want to be able to up and go whenever they want to. Yep. And they're choosing to have that life, which, if you don't want to have kids, that's on you. I love having kids. It's seeing them, even when they drive me up the wall, that's still my joy for the day. Right. But I get that appeal, like being able to, like I saw one dude on his video, he opened up his van, like he's got a tricked out nice office that he works from home. He opens up his van and he's on the fucking beach. Like, yeah, I get the appeal to that. I understand that. Now, is that what I want personally? No. Like, I see where the appeal of him being that kind of person can like that, but that's not my cup of tea. But the thing is more and more younger generation don't want that commitment. It's kind of why you can buy a subscription to Ford cars now. So they insure it. You pay for a subscription monthly, right? And at any point that you want to go trade your vehicle, and even if it gets wrecked or totaled, you literally go throw the keys on Ford's desk, say, I would like to drive off with that F-150 today from my Ford Fusion. You sign the paperwork, your payment changes a little bit, and you're off on a new F1 with an F-150 that's you don't own. And if you get tired of it, you can drive it right back to the dealership and say, you know what? I want to drive around a Bronco for next month.
That. Hello.
There you go.
That was weird. Yeah, I was talking and I was like, there's no sound coming out. That's the whole American, or not American. That's the whole goal, is that you don't own anything. Like, that's what they want you to do. They don't want you. And then, like, literally hook, line, and sinker, the younger generation is falling right into it, bro. Because they don't want to own anything. They don't want to. Like, they don't want to have that responsibility. They don't know how to have that.
Those morals aren't being instilled in them, unfortunately, because of the instant gratification, right? And Lindsay said it's better anyways because we're so overpopulated. I knew she'd come in with this subject. She's a fan of Thanos, by the way. I don't know if you know what Thanos did with his glove when he snapped and 50% of every world's population just... And his justification is because it's not emotional, it's not personal, but these planets, the resources will be abundant and the planet will help re-heal itself. And so when we talk about Thanos, she's like, I understand. I'm like, yeah, but that's still mass genocide.
Yeah.
I know they will just never have existed, but the people that are left here, we see like that's mass genocide.
Well, but my thought philosophy and stuff on that is like, stop putting warning labels on shit. Let fucking Darwinism. And I know if Donna's listening,
we were talking about, I remember.
Yeah. I was like, Donna and I are on the same fucking boat on that.
It's
the
like, warning labels and let the problem work.
Let the problem work itself out. So that way they're no longer, because that's exactly the premise of idiocracy. All the people that are unintelligent and don't have their shit together are the ones that are reproducing. And then that's a huge problem.
And we've brought this idiocracy. That's how sad the environment is these days. We've brought idiocracy up. I don't know how many times on this show because of that shit, man. It's bad, man. And the thing is we're not like, yes, the population is increasing, but we're not increasing it with intelligent people is the problem.
Well, and that goes back to what I was saying about like leaders and about like innovation people and stuff like that. Because
because these people are going to be our leaders.
That's the scary part.
Yeah.
Sad part.
I'm going to tell you right now, bro. Like
they can't even balance a fucking checkbook and they're going to run the country one day. Like, that's fucking scary.
But at the same time, I ain't the one to run this country. I ain't the one to be president. I'll tell you that right now. I have no way.
I mean, I would be basically JFK'd if I was president, because I'm going to rub a lot of people wrong, because I'd be like, look, like, this shit ain't flying.
I get it. You're right. You're right to a certain extent, but Trump was basically the same way. The same shit ain't flying. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. Nobody tried to assassinate him, dude.
Well, the problem
I'm not supporting him. I'm just saying he did that. He fired everybody and said, fuck the government. And
but the problem with him is he hired his people, and everything that he did was basically for himself and to better like his properties and his ROI and his bottom line and everything else. It wasn't, it didn't benefit America. It benefited him. It benefited his tax bracket. It benefited all of his little billionaire friends and everything else. It didn't benefit us. And that's what people don't realize. I'm like, you understand, like, you don't have his kind of money. He doesn't give a fuck about you. You are nothing. You don't mean anything to him. Like, look, let's be real. Like, as a business owner and as a business person, if you're not contributing to the business, then you are irrelevant. And that's exactly what the people are, because they're not contributing to his business. They'll buy his fucking gold sneakers and all that other shit, but
I want gold sneakers.
Go get you some MAGAs. Fuck the Yeezy.
I bet there's some gold
MAGAs.
Jordans out there somewhere that just somebody paid stupid money for.
Oh, I bet.
What about you, audience? We know Lindsay's opinion. Do you think it's a good idea that the death rate starts out climbing the birth rate? Do you think we should go ahead and, not that I wish death on anybody, you know what I'm saying, but do you think that it's probably a good idea we slow down on having kids? Like, I don't think we should go the route of these guys that are just uninterested. I don't think that should be the way of the world, because eventually we're just going to shit ourselves out. But what do you think? They say the Y, what? I'm sorry. What is the chromosome for the dude? Y? Is it Y or X or XY? Or what is it?
It's X and Y, and I can't remember which one's which.
Okay. Well, anyways, they're saying that that chromosome is going to be obsolete by like something stupid. We won't be here by the time it is, but they're saying that the male chromosome could disappear from male sperm by it's like something stupid. Like,
bro, they said that redheads were going to disappear too by 2012 or 2015 or some shit, and that fucking clearly never going to happen.
Blue eyes are disappearing, bro.
Nah,
that's a recessive. It's a recessive.
That's what
gene.
They said about redheads. Redheads are recessive too. They've been saying this shit about fucking forever.
You're right. You're right on the redheads, because they got that wrong, because Bethany is a blonde or a brunette. I can't remember, and her husband's a redhead, and both their children are freaking redheads.
Yep,
absolute gingers. But no, dude, if you look around, dude, our blue eyes are not as abundant as they once were, because not enough people.
Maybe that's why I like blue eyes so much. Like, I don't know what it is. When I look at somebody and they got brown eyes, I'm like, you're full of shit.
Nobody else out there and fan of slower birth rate, higher death rate, so we can get resources back under control.
Well, here's the thing: is we can control the resources. We can. The thing is we're not thinking. No, let me rephrase that. The people making money and the CEOs of companies, they're not thinking in a way to benefit everybody. They're thinking in a way to benefit their company and their corporation.
That's always going to
Perfect example. I'll give you an example of this. So, like, somebody posted something about how farmers, like, how their farmland and like they can't do EV, electric vehicles, and how are they going to charge it, yada yada yada. And I'm like, because you're thinking about it completely fucking wrong. It's like when people ask, "Where's our flying cars?" Bitch, they've been around for fucking last 100 years. It's called an airplane. So you don't think about it in a fucking fundamental of an actual car flying.
Airplane.
It's a fucking airplane. It's been around for 100 fucking years.
Well, the thing
is, so let me go back to the farming thing.
Okay.
The thing is yes, farming in the way we think of it logically and the way it's been for generations and generations, yes, is very horrible for the environment because of all the water and resources and everything. But why is that? because it's on one plane and you're having to water one fucking plane that goes on for miles and miles and miles. But yet you have all this wasted vertical space. It's and what does gravity do? It fucking brings things down, right? So if you have one line running across and then you have a tier where it fucking falls down and falls down and falls down, and then you have a recirculating pump, you're fucking using that water. Like the whole thing and the whole premise is it's the fucking archaic way of thinking that is wrong, and then we're continually perpetuating this instead of thinking of new, innovative, and better ideas and better resources. Like
I feel like the cost that has been put on our farmers, I feel like somebody's out there probably working on some kind of innovation at this point. They're being forced to.
Well, they've tried they've tried the vertical farming and stuff like that. They've tried the indoor farming and shit like that. But at the end of the day, it's not cost effective.
Well, as you were saying, the corporations too, because it's not just the farmers; it's also the corporations that are owning these pig places.
Yeah, well, not just pigs. I mean, think about Monsanto.
I'm just using them as the example because the documentary I watched, like literally, they are cleaning up the shit and then pumping it into the sprinklers and then spraying. And this is the corporate-owned farms. They're spraying it back onto the crops and into people's air.
Oh yeah.
And what you were saying about how the corporations are not concerned about humanity until 8 billion people on this earth change their view of what success is.
Right.
That's never going to fucking happen, unfortunately.
And this is what I argued. Like,
they have to redefine that.
Like somebody, there was a big, huge thread that somebody posted about GM. Like they came up with this innovative idea in 1950s or whatever. I forget what year it was, where they took their cars and they ran them through their engineering and all this sort of shit so that they could stack the cars in a rail car vertically.
Oh yeah. No, I've seen the picture.
Did you see that?
I've seen the picture, yeah.
So me and this one guy went back and forth, and like I literally just like schooled him on so many fucking levels. Like, yeah, like that's a great idea. However, think of how much money was spent on R&D. They had to make specialized baffles for the gas tank in order so it wouldn't leak everywhere. They had to make special batteries so that they wouldn't leak.
I don't know if they'd be putting gas in
They did.
You'd be asking.
They did, and that's one of the things that my argument was.
That's a bomb.
Exactly what I said. I go, what about hazardous materials, transporting hazardous materials? Like, I know that wasn't a thing in the 40s, but it is now.
Yeah, now it would be.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to explain to him. I was like, dude, it's not a good idea. Like, you guys are perpetuating this idea like it's an amazing novel thing, but in reality it's fucking stupid.
Bottom line, death rate needs to increase. That's kind of where we went with this one.
Yeah, on the wrong people. Or the right people, maybe. Who's that, Lindsay?
Oh, no, your lights are changing colors. I think.
Oh, disco over there.
Yeah. Yeah. No. They have not found the wave of the future. I don't care what anybody says. BEVs are not the wave of the future. They're a good Band-Aid for a little bit.
Yeah.
And they aren't even a great Band-Aid, unfortunately, because like I said, we both know their charging stations take enough power to power 80,000 fucking homes.
Here's the problem, like with that. So as an infant, right, you learn to walk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you learn to crawl first. Then you learn to walk, and then you
gotta crawl before you walk.
Exactly, and then you learn to run, right? The problem with EVs is we bypassed the crawling, we bypassed the fucking walking stage, and we went right to fucking running.
And now we're
full steam ahead, and we realized,
crawling.
Oh shit, we didn't crawl, we didn't walk, we didn't build the infrastructure. That's where I'm going with that.
It happened so badly that we're back to crawling because we didn't learn to crawl.
Exactly, and now we're realizing that maybe EVs weren't the great idea we thought they were. It was actually hybrids all along, which Toyota was like, bitch, I already fucking told you.
Like we tripped over a rock, slammed our face on the ground, and because we didn't learn how to crawl, we're like a baby at first, you know?
Yeah.
Like we're this old, like I'm a 40-year-old and I can't figure out how to get off the fucking ground because I never learned. It's like, and like, it's just, I don't know. We'll see. You know what's really messed up?
What's that?
What's really, really messed up at some of these quarter mile races?
Yeah.
Because of some of these back end tracks like Yellow Belly and whatnot, they're pulling Teslas up to starting lines and running like a 9 second quarter mile. It's all-wheel drive. It's all at the same time. It's
instant power.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The power is impressive. It's cool, but it's just not the wave of the future.
Well, and at the end of the day, it's like nothing better than like when I start that Mercedes up, dude. That whoa, 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 like just that rumble, and then when you floor it, it's just like
not most Mercedes sound like that.
Yeah, I know.
Like that sounds like what's really trips me out is when you start that up with the exhaust, it sounds like American V8.
It does.
Like American. It doesn't sound carbureted,
no,
right? But it sounds like American-made V8. It's crazy. That's just. There's only one other Mercedes that I've seen, and that this dude had money, and he's got like a car collection, right? So
hey, so do I, man.
Okay, he's
not a very good one, but I got one.
Collectible cars. Devin's like, I mean, it is a collection, so therefore they're collectible. No, I mean he had a Mercedes that had pipes coming out under the doors, and that's the only time I've heard one to sound like yours, and that was years ago.
Yeah, and I mean that was almost an all-day process too. When I got that exhaust, it was crazy.
Everything on a German car is an all-day.
Like I remember getting there at like 9 or 10 a.m. in the morning, and like I didn't leave there till like damn near 5, like closing time at 5.
They got this video going around. There's a channel, I don't remember what channel, but they interview like, you know, these real mechanics that are like semi TikTok social media famous mechanics that are good mechanics. And they did a whole video on how they react when German cars come in. And they're just like they start tearing them apart, like with German engineering. They show where parts are put, and they're like, how the fuck am I supposed to get that? And then they show a Mercedes engine pulled, right? And there's hoses everywhere. Oh, can't just go to the auto parts store and say, yeah, I need a hose. Okay, which one of the 35 that are on this engine do you need? It was crazy.
So the funniest part is my engine that's in the Mercedes is the W212, and it like literally when you pull it out, it looks so intimidating because to your point, there's like fucking god awful amount of hoses.
It's not just intimidating. I mean, that thing, you open that hood and there's no room.
No, there's like it's all engine.
Yeah, it's like
and turbos.
Can't upgrade the turbo. Can't make it any bigger. Cut a hole in the hood, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and reroute all the fucking piping.
Yeah, there is no room in that bitch, dude. That thing is like.
They have that thing so packed that you can't even see the turbo.
Reminds me of Cocina Caliente back in early 2000s on $2 You Call It nights, Mondays. It's crowded. But no, yeah, dude, that German cars are a nightmare to work on.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
They really
just that's one of the things. Like, man, there's no way that I could even work on this car. Like, I mean, like, the Acura, yeah, I could work on that because it's pretty easy. It's a VTEC, and you know, it's a pretty common engine, but. Man, those
Hondas, Acuras, Toyotas, all day. You can get that shit fixed. You can work on that shit. I tip my hat to Aaron. He used to work on fucking BMWs.
Yeah,
like
he was my go-to guy. Like that's how I met Aaron. I actually met him at German Auto Works.
Like, how do you have the patience for that? Like, how do you not throw a wrench at the wall every single day?
Right?
Like, for real.
Yeah.
Ashley said clown cars. Which one are the clown?
Oh, she talked about my Mercedes. She called it a clown car.
Oh, no, like, that's awfully small to be a clown. Which I guess they do get. There's a lot of them that do get out of a small car, right? I don't understand why it's a clown car.
I don't either.
What happened? How's it a clown car?
I think it's because she thinks that it's small, but it's really not a small car.
For its engine, yes, it is.
Yeah,
it absolutely.
Yeah, for the size of the engine, yeah.
Like, you know,
I mean, 3/4 of the car, let's face it, is hood.
Yeah, like it's a very light, even though heavy, light car for the amount of horsepower that's in the motor. It's kind of that's why it's so scary. It's because it's like a small car hauling ass.
Dude, I will say, whenever I put it in dyno mode, so there's a way to put the car in dyno mode, so like you're actually going to test the horsepower and all that shit. When I figured out how to do it, dude, I was so like literally about shit my pants.
It's because sometimes small vehicles aren't supposed to go that. He's like, when it started lifting off the ground.
Oh no, dude!
At 140, 150, that's when I was like, shit.
No, so I did not ever get it up to that high of a speed when it's in dyno mode, just because I know that like all of your stability, traction control, everything is off. So like if you try to make a lane change or do an evasive move, you don't have anything that's going to protect you. You don't have the ABS kicking in. You don't have, the all the throttle control management and all that sort of stuff to basically slow you from spinning out, basically.
Very nice. Very nice. That's pretty wild, sir. That really is.
Yeah, I can't wait to get it on the road again. I'll probably have to do it next Wednesday since I can't do it this
Wednesday. Dude?
What?
It's going to be a lot of money, Devin.
Oh, I know. I'm very well aware.
Is there nothing else out there comparable that you could, go ahead and drop this and think about getting into something else?
Well, I'm planning on selling 4 of my 5 vehicles. Actually, no.
That's a good idea. But
3 of the 5 vehicles.
The only 2 that he's not selling are his gas guzzlers.
Yes. Pretty much.
Are you selling the FedEx, or are you gonna keep that?
Yeah, I'm gonna sell the FedEx.
Oh, you're like, you know what I'm gonna do? You know what? I don't have the time.
Yeah, the thing is with me is time is like if I had like Lindsay's dad, like if
you're retired,
I would be I would be fucking gutting that thing out and building it, like making it badass inside. But I'm like, I just don't have it.
He'd have a pisser and a shower in one.
Oh,
with
yeah.
tile.
Oh yeah,
like you could take a shit while taking a shower. No, but yeah, it'd be all stoned out, like with tile and stuff. And
I mean, you've seen some of the insides of these.
Yeah,
like, they
crazy.
Are insane. Like they put a full kitchen,
mm-hmm.
everything, shower, bathroom, the heater, like just everything. And here's the crazy part: I didn't realize this, but like I have damn near everything to outfit it. Like I have the inverter. I have the solar panels. I have the battery management system. Like I have all that shit. And I was like,
but the work to build all of it to make it where it looks nice
and then wire it and hide the wires, and then you got to build it into the floor and into the walls.
That's the one thing that gets me on those videos, because I'm watching how they're putting up stuff and they're building it on the inside. I'm like, okay, I could do that. But then before they do all that, they do all the wiring, and I'm like, I would be fucking lost. I can do car stereos. That's not a big deal. I know where, but when it comes to like lighting and you need to make the microwave work, and you got to turn it from a 120, and then you need a generator to wire to the,
and you need a 40 amp fuse for that and a 30 amp fuse for this. And yeah,
really? I'm running, that's crazy, because I'm running 350 amp fuses
in
my system.
Well, you think about your house. You got a 15 amp breaker. You got a 20 amp breaker. You have
break. Okay, yeah.
And so you're gonna have that same power management like you would have at your house. So you have to have a fuse box that's accessible, kind of like the boat has that little area where all the fuses are, where it's accessible, where you can easily swap out a fuse if something's broken. So you got to think about that too whenever you're building, one of these RVs or whatever. But my point, dude, is like I find so many RVs and shit for like dirt cheap that it's like.
Ashley says she wants to buy it from you. She
Hell
wants to get her mobile nail sailor, she said.
Salon.
I know. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, I've got a crack in my screen. That's why it looked like R. I thought she mistyped. Sorry, joke's on me. I got a shitty phone.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was like, are you not looking at your computer? I was like, better not have a crack in the fucking screen.
No, I'm sorry. I'm looking through TMZ for stories again.
Oh, gotcha. Well, we can get back on the stories. We kind of went off on a tangent. But you brought up the whole Epstein thing, and I was like, oh shit, I actually have that story.
And then that's I really hope they eventually just the list itself. I don't even want to see just documents. I want to see the list.
Right.
I want to see truly.
So speaking of lists, today is our 10th consecutive day under a heat advisory, with temperatures soaring and humidity making it feel even hotter. Since June 23rd, the region has faced dangerous high temperatures, with heat indexes reaching up to 112 degrees in some areas. But hold on, there's relief. Friday's supposed to be 87.
Hold on, there's more.
Saturday 92, Sunday 94.
After the 4th of July.
Yeah, I know. And the 4th of July is going to be hot as fuck.
So
I hope we don't have the wind like we had last year. That fucking sucked.
I was telling Devin earlier, I was like, I know there's a lot of people like, we don't need that rain back. But it was very much like Forrest Gump. If you ever seen Forrest Gump out there, it's like, It was raining sideways. It was raining. It was even coming up from underneath. And then he was like, one day it just stopped. And that's exactly what has happened here. One day it just quit, and we just like.
And then the fucking oven was left open.
Yeah, and God was like, die, everyone in Texas.
Right? Like, God, this heat is so unbearable. Like, you know, when you're out at the lake, though, like, it's fine. Like, you don't feel the heat. But, like, when I was doing yard work this weekend, like, I about fucking died. Like, I bullshit you not. This 64 ounce lasted me 10 minutes, and it was completely empty. I was like, God. I was like, I don't drink anything that fast, but it was just like, God, it was so fucking hot.
Lots of agua.
So speaking of lots of agua, the Hurricane Beryl is rapidly strengthening into a Category 5 again. It is the earliest Category 5 hurricane on record. This unexpected intensification has raised concerns about the potential impact on regions in its path, highlighting the need for swift preparations and evacuation plans.
Gonna nail Texas and give us some rain. Hell yeah.
Yes, it is.
Hail, yeah. Hopefully no hail, but I'm just saying that out loud.
So just so y'all know, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week is supposed to be scattered thunderstorms. So I'm thinking we're going to get the remnants of this hurricane. And I mean, by the time it hits the North Texas area, obviously it's not going to be a hurricane, but we will get dumped on.
Hopefully, our lakes will be back to normal, which it doesn't look like they're going to be, but it would be nice. Because you can definitely tell by our road, the lake has not receded very much.
No, it hasn't.
And then if you go down the opposite way, it's still all the way.
I know, dude. I couldn't believe it. Shit's still underwater. I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, I get the safety thing, and they got to have an engineer come out and look at it, but they need to get that done. They need to get that done. # Lake Dallas.
Yes. Get your shit together.
I feel like we need to.
Speaking of getting things done, good old McWheelie and Lieutenant Dan are looking to double the funding for Texas Energy Fund to $10 billion. This move aims to enhance the state's energy infrastructure and ensure reliable power during extreme weather conditions. The proposal reflects ongoing efforts to prevent future power crises like those we experienced in every fucking storm that we have, especially if you live around here.
Yeah, Jesus.
So do you think increasing the Texas fund whatever to 10 billion is a good move, or do you think that's just like going to line somebody's pockets and nothing's going to get fixed?
I feel like we're going to be the ones who gets hits with the money. I feel like it's going to be our tax dollars that are going to go up because of this shit.
Right?
I don't know, man. I don't have a really good comment for the Texas power grid anything. I think they need to. I'm all about being independent. I get it, but fuck, y'all need to go ahead and just fix the infrastructure and start working with America and their power grid, because obviously Texas is not handling it. You guys had no idea that it was going to grow like this, and you guys can't handle the growth.
So I don't know if you know this or not. Did you hear the bird flu is back in the news?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so no more eating chicken.
I'm surprised you were bird COVID.
Bird COVID. Actually, yeah, that's what we should. Hello.
Yeah, like bird COVID is back in the news. Don't eat chicken. Man, I'll still eat chicken.
So
and the chicken I made on Saturday was amazeballs.
Damn, you got any left?
Yes, I do.
All right, I'm about to.
They're all drumsticks.
Okay,
I got a whole bunch of them.
I don't give a shit, man. I want to try one.
They came out really good.
I was so stuffed when you asked. I was like, man. I was like, had it been earlier through the day, I was like, dude, I'd been all over it. But yeah, I'd just eaten Outback.
Way better than pulled pork, that's for sure.
Oh, that's good.
Way better than my pulled pork.
So Moderna is developing a new mRNA vaccine to combat bird flu, leveraging technology similar to what was used for COVID-19 vaccines. This innovative approach aims to enhance preparedness for potential future pandemics by quickly adapting to emerging viruses.
Guess who ain't getting that shot either?
Well, it's not for you. It's for birds, dumbass.
They're vaccinating birds now.
Yes, to combat bird flu.
So because we didn't get our COVID vaccines,
they're going to inject it into our food.
Yes, so they're going to inject it into our food, so we're still going to be microchipped. I see.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Jesus.
And I have my beliefs and thoughts on RNA, like that. Anytime you fuck with our DNA structure, think about this. Okay, so if I fuck with your DNA structure, right, and then you go and have kids, guess what? You now fuck with your kids' DNA structure. And then when those kids have kids, like you were talking about the recessive gene and talking about blue eyes and all that sort of stuff, well, what's going to happen when we start fucking with all these genes and modifying them?
That's what they're trying to do.
Exactly.
I really think that's what they were trying to do with the vaccine. There's a spike protein that people still haven't been, and in the vaccine itself, that people still aren't, they can't tell what it's been written to do. So, to that state, give me just a second.
All right, you got it. All right, y'all. So that was a business segment. I'm gonna kind of continue on into this. This one is near and dear to my heart and really pisses me off. So that's why I'm gonna talk about it. So Boeing has announced its acquisition of Spirit Aero Systems in a deal valued at $4.7 billion in stock. So they're not paying the company; they're just giving them $4.7 billion in stock, which, well, that's a whole nother story. This purchase aims to strengthen Boeing's supply chain and enhance its aerospace capabilities. The acquisition is expected to significantly impact the aerospace industry, impacting competition and innovation. So I want to know what y'all's thoughts are on the acquisition, and how do you think this will affect the aerospace industry and both companies involved. So here's my whole thought process. So this company should not even be in fucking business. The fact that it's had 2 flights that crashed back to back, then it had a fucking door that disappeared off an airplane.
Boeing.
Yeah. So you missed it. So Boeing just acquired Spirit Aero Systems for $4.7 billion in stock.
I've got an interesting story about Boeing too as well.
Okay, cool. Well, you can bring it up here in a minute. So, and here's the even more fucked up thing. So the door that flew off was built and made by Spirit Aero Systems. So of course their stock took a huge shit when their fucking door went flying out. And then what's Boeing do? Because their stock didn't really suffer hardly at all compared to...
Nothing has suffered from Boeing.
If y'all go follow Nike right now, Nike didn't do shit near... Like, it didn't kill people like Boeing did. And guess what? Their stock is now what you could have bought it 20 years ago. Like, that's how bad Nike stock is taking a shit. But yet Boeing somehow has fruitfully now is acquiring the company that made
Nike?
No, that made the doors, not shoes, doors. And it probably a bargain deal because of everything that happened. And like, to me, it's like, okay, so a bad company's buying another bad company. So now we have 2 bad companies. So now we have a worse company.
I know there's companies out there that that, like you were saying earlier, are not concerned about the betterment of humankind.
There's one
that I can irrefutably, absolutely stand behind the statement. Boeing gives a shit about human lives.
It has no fucks to give.
Murdering
They're
them,
completely out of fucks.
I mean, unaliving them, etc. Yeah. Boy.
Ashley says your favorite company. Yes. So those of you that may or may not know, like I literally shorted Boeing stock because I wanted to pay some kind of a repercussion for the shit that they did and continue to do. And then, oh, by the way, don't know if you know this or not, Boeing was the one that created the Starliner, the rocket that, oh, by the way, can't get the astronauts back to the United States. Or back to Earth, for that matter. Not even fucking United States.
They're trying to work with Elon to figure out how to crash the international.
Yeah, why are they trying to destroy the ISS? I saw that. I was going to pull the story on that. I was like, going, wait, this can't be fucking real.
Well, there was another thing that I read that there was a unidentified pathogen detected on the station too as well. Oh, so yeah, so. I don't know if we're dealing with one of those Life. Did you see the movie Life with Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal, where they find an organism, they give it some protein, it starts to grow, and it's like exponentially stronger even at a small size, and it's super intelligent, and its whole thing is to just consume.
Nope, but I'm gonna have to watch that tonight.
It's called Life. Check it out.
All right, I'll check it out.
Movie. Ryan Reynolds is only in it.
I know. I can't believe it. I watched a movie last night with fucking Ryan Reynolds in it, and it was like so.
Which one?
Terrible.
Which one?
What the fuck was it called?
Did you watch is it the kids one?
Yes, it was so fucking bad, dude.
It's because it's not up your alley. This is for kids.
But it was just like, oh god, the acting was horrible.
He's in this movie. Dude. I tell you, it's probably one of the shortest roles I've seen him in as far as being a main character.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not gonna let you know. Anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, that is a good movie. It creeps me out. Sometimes I can't watch it because it's real, man. It's like we don't know what's living out there. You'll understand when you watch it. But
Life. I'm gonna check it out.
Why were we? What?
You were gonna say something about Boeing.
Oh yes. So I got a story pulled up. It's not necessarily about Boeing. It just happened to happen on a Boeing.
Oh, okay. What?
Boeing jet hits severe, and when I say severe turbulence, I mean severe. A man gets stuck in the overhead bin. So when you have the ocean line, the Dreamliners and stuff that go over the ocean and whatnot. They have the 3 luggage bins. They got the one row going down the center, and then they got the other 2 on the side.
Right.
Seats.
Usually a 767 has that.
This dude, the turbulence was so bad that apparently, like, before he was able, he either was going to the bathroom. I gotta. Let me see here. Okay, so a transatlantic passenger is feeling lucky to be alive after severe turbulence sent him hurling through the cabin of a Boeing jet and planted him in the airliner's ceiling. And there is video of this. You can see his feet hanging out. Yes, it's absolutely crazy. Check out the clip. And of course, I'm not going to be able to play it. I've got it up on my side. Sorry, y'all. Look up Boeing.
Can you post the link into the chat?
Yeah, hold on.
So yeah, Ashley, that was the name of the movie. It was called If, and she said, "Good to sleep to." Yeah, dude, I almost fell asleep like 3 times during that movie. That's how. Yeah, it was bad. And I'm like, what's the deal with Ryan Reynolds?
How do you copy and paste on Apple?
Command C, Command V. Stupid shit. It's way better, way easier.
Or actually, I'll just use the mouse. God damn it.
Okay, then right click.
I know. I
copy, paste.
At least that part's normal. Did it post? Literally just hit go.
Did you put it in the type your message area?
Yeah. Paste.
And then you hit the little up arrow or hit enter. There it is. Yep.
All right. Okay, cool.
There it is.
But yeah, so it apparently was a Air Europe's flight UX 045 from Madrid to Montevideo,
Uruguay. The capital of
Uruguay. All right, cool. You got this. Good. Thank you, geography major. Glad you're here. Team effort. The fact his feet were actually moving had to be relieving to his fellow passengers, who eventually dislodged him. He was up inside, like over the bins.
So he was all up in it.
Bro, he was in the ceiling, dude. You should see the pictures, dude.
I can't wait to watch the fucking link.
Other passengers were also thrown out of their seats when the plane hit turbulence over the Atlantic. In total, 30 out of 325 passengers were injured in the ordeal. So this wasn't just your normal.
So 10%.
Yes. Math too. Shit, man.
I'm on it today.
Yeah,
bro.
Man. God, I've got him here. So what's really crazy is this is not just your normal turbulence. This is like, a few bumps on the road, the air on your way down to landing. This was major, like dropping 10 to 20 feet at a time, like
10 to 20,000 feet, maybe?
Or maybe like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say it's 10 to 20 feet.
Well, I'm not an aeronographer. See, this is why I have Devin here.
Aerospace engineer.
So I don't know enough about planes. I'm thinking like maybe they drop 20 feet. Maybe it's 5,000 feet.
It was probably like 5 or 10,000 feet. They usually typically fly 35 to 40,000 feet, depending on where they are.
Oxygen mask deployed, everything. Where this guy actually flew up into the ceiling, you can actually see the engineering parts of the plane, dude. It's crazy because he wasn't in the bins themselves. He went up over the bins, and like his head's on this side of the bins and his feet was on this side of the bins. That's what, and you don't see any body. That's what's
Dude,
nuts,
could
man.
you imagine them doing a Saturday Night Live skit? You remember back in the day? Did you remember the Bastard Airline? For those of you, go Google it. It's fucking hilarious. Hold on. Bastard Airline.
While you're doing that, I'll finish this up.
Okay,
Passengers
go
described the ordeal to local Uruguayan outlets as resembling a horror movie and likened it to a near-death experience. Air Europe says the plane was diverted
Go ahead. Sorry.
to Brazil, to the Brazilian state of Rio Grande do Norte, and the injuries of varying degrees were being treated at their hospital there. Goes without saying, Boeing's been navigating difficult times lately after incidents ranging from near mishaps to tragic fatalities, such as the May death of a man on board a Singapore flight that similarly flew into unexpected turbulence. So I didn't know about that one. Jesus.
Yikes.
Boeing is just, man, God, dude.
Yeah, trust me.
They're racking up the fucking shit. And they're murdering people, too. That's just, man.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna see if I can play this. Audience, Ashley or anybody out in the audience, let me know if you can hear this.
No, other one is our background music.
Oh, okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I remember that. Yeah, no, they couldn't hear it. All they got was our background music, unfortunately.
All right, so here I'm gonna post the link. Thank you, Ashley, for letting me know. Yeah, go check this out. It's
The Saturday Night Live skit, y'all.
It's a way old school Saturday Night Live skit, but it like kind of reminds me of what's going on with the whole Boeing
If
thing.
you're like 35 plus, you may remember it.
Right.
May remember it. But yeah, that's what's going on with Boeing.
Hold on, I got more.
Oh, with Boeing?
Yep.
Wow. Shit. Okay.
So Boeing, this is not a personal attack on Boeing. It just so happens that I hate the company. Boeing spacecraft, not Starcraft, is undergoing rigorous testing as part of its preparation to carry NASA astronauts to the. Wait, what the fuck? This is already
to the space station?
Yeah, like this already happened.
Oh. Anyways.
Boo. Old news.
So, astronaut food, I feel like ramen's probably popular up there. It's kind of freeze dried, but not really freeze dried.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so I was thinking maybe we should send something to them up there, right? And you'll never believe what we could send to them.
What can we send to them?
S'mores flavored ramen. Bizarre noodle flavor hits the shelves. Cup of noodles. Ramen noodles in a sauce. Campfire s'mores. Forget packing the chocolate, marshmallow, and graham crackers because now you can slurp up all the goodness in one bowl of ramen. Yeah, that's not a typo. Nissan Foods just dropped. I thought they made cars. Limited edition instant cup noodles flavored as described.
Oh, it's Nissin. Nissin, not Nissan. Big difference.
I thought that's how you spell Nissan. Or is it Nisan?
An, yeah.
Oh, whatever.
So Nissan is noodles and Nissan is cars.
Same sandwich, different bologna. Definitely from that area of the world. So the gooey sweet noodle experience apparently satisfy your s'more cravings beyond the great outdoors. Talk about not wanting that right now because I don't even want to be near a campfire at the moment. There's a bunch of sweet ingredients in this usually savory treat. Brown sugar, honey, molasses, and good old cocoa all mixed into these instant noodles. Who's down for some s'mores ramen? Who's out there who's going to be like, yeah, let me get on some s'mores ramen. That sounds really good.
No, that sounds terrible.
No? Okay.
I'm just not a fan of s'mores. I don't know what it is.
I love s'mores. You know what I make them with?
What?
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Okay, now that I can get behind.
They are good.
That I can get behind.
Quick story. Went to Jellystone. Our neighbors, they're seeing us make s'mores, and they see us get out all this candy. It's not the usual Hershey. And they're like, what are you doing? I was like, I put Reese's Cups on mine. They're like, get the hell out of here. And I was like, here you go, try one. He's like, I don't think I'm ever making s'mores the same again. Mr. Goodbar, Snickers, man, they add such a good flavor to a s'more, a good twist to a s'more. If you're a fan of the classic, go for it. But I promise you, if you try a chocolate candy bar or something like Snickers, or even we tried the white cookies and cream Hershey's. It was all freaking phenomenal. Just bring a glass of milk. You'll need it.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest problem is like it gets like with that graham cracker and everything else, it's like ooey gooey, and then it like, yeah, just sandpaper in your mouth.
Ashley said she heard the breakfast one was good. What, ramen or
ramen noodles breakfast?
Yeah, because there's a lot of. I mean,
are they trying to be like Taco Bell now and like have?
Well,
a
I mean, if you
menu?
go to a ramen restaurant, they put an egg in the ramen.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Is it? I just always was kind of turned off by putting eggs in my ramen.
So have you ever been to Kura Sushi, the revolving sushi thing?
Yeah, and all I ate was sushi.
So they have it's called Teksuman or something like that,
mm-hmm.
and it's a noodle. It's ramen. It comes in like a maroon bowl, and it'll come on the conveyor belt thing, like at the top, not at the bottom. You got to order it. You got to order on the screen. And it comes with the egg in it. Oh my god, dude! It's probably one of the best fucking ramens I've ever had. Like, so if you next time you go, order that because it is really fucking.
By the way, I don't know if something was malfunctioning the night we went. They don't drop the toy for every 10 anymore.
I know, dude. I literally had like 20 plates, and I was like, "Where the fuck is my toy?"
Mm-hmm. You have to buy some kind of special advertisement or package or something. I couldn't figure out what it was, and it was on certain days now or something like that.
Oh,
but yeah, boo. That sucks. Everybody wants a free toy when they go eat sushi, right?
Exactly. Well, like back when they first opened, they had some really cool toys. They had like Sonic the Hedgehog. They had like they had Hello Kitty for a while. Like they had some really cool stuff.
Oh,
and then they just started
down with the Hello Kitty.
Well, I mean, just saying for the females, you know.
No, they didn't have any kind of whatever it was anime stuff, and I had no idea what.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is like I don't know like anime stuff. So that's why when I saw Sonic the Hedgehog, I was like, wait, I know what that is.
Yeah. Oh, I hope I get that one. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We are approaching the 9:30 half hour mark.
Oh snap!
I got kids. You wanna wind it down or?
Yeah, let's go ahead and call it a night.
Awesome sauce, as you know, that's what we put on everything. We put awesome sauce on everything.
Damn right we do.
Because we are dope
all day, every day.
I mean, you'd think I was gonna say awesome, but you know, dope, awesome, same thing.
Same sandwich.
Awesomely dope. The dopest dope. Anyways, thank you everybody for hanging out tonight. We do appreciate it. Those of you that came through, commented, told us what kind of ramen you like, and that you like the death, kill off half the population. Thanks for the genocide suggestions. We do appreciate it.
And for those of you still sticking around, and come hang out tomorrow night at the Kaboom Town on Facebook. There's the event thing, and I will post it again into our little chat thing, so that way you have the link.
Yes, and I believe I shared it on my page too as well.
I saw that. Thank you.
Everybody's invited. It's a public place, so It's not like if you weren't on the invite list, you can't come. No, it's a public place. We want, more the merrier. Everybody up there in their own crowds, they show up and it's a big party up there in general. So good times, a little warm, but good times.
It's definitely gonna be a little warm, but hopefully once the sun goes down, things will be a lot better. It'll be 90 instead of 117.
I got a race from the office. Get dressed. Well, I'll have most of the stuff ready already. Hopefully the kids and Lindsay will be ready. We'll have the car packed, but then we're gonna have to race down there to beat.
Yeah, because they start. So that's what I'm going to tell everybody. Hey, get there relatively early because they start closing the road down around like 6:30ish.
Yeah, something like that.
And I know, like in the past, there was people that were late and they had to park in Jesus and then walk over. So yeah, just get there, be there.
I will say they leave the service road right there where that turn is. They leave that open for a little bit longer than before they close down the Addison roads, because Addison roads closed down a lot faster. Because last year we got there and there were Addison roads that were closed down, but getting off the tollway, off the feeder, it wasn't that bad.
Dude, speaking of, I go to exit out of work today. Both roads on either side were closed. And I'm like, I'm not from the area, right? And of course, I'm sitting there like on Waze, and Waze is telling me, go through the barricade.
Hell yeah. Rebel like us.
And it like keeps telling me to turn around and shit. And I'm like going, I don't know where the fuck I'm going. Like, I can't go anywhere. Like, I'm stuck in between two fucking sawhorse road closure things. I'm like, who the fuck playing this shit?
Probably Lake Dallas. No,
yeah, apparently Arlington's not any better.
Yeah, apparently they hired some people. They got some people in Lake Dallas on the council now.
Apparently.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We do appreciate you.
All right, everybody. Love you a long time. And hopefully I will see you tomorrow at the rooftop. If not, then I'll catch you next Tuesday.
Have a good 4th, y'all. Be safe.